Now what went down, I don't believe, and I just know I can't conceive. I'm searching. When love is gone and one believes that love will come like brand new leaves, I'm searching. And then the day when I will say that my soul lives a truthful way, I'm searching. Up in the sky, I got a story to say, and I'll tell you why I'm searching. You see, my friend, I need someone who feels and feels the same as I'm searching. Searching, 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 searching. Searching, 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 searching.
Everybody loves the sunshine. safe to say that they would rather switch than fight.
Am I live? I'm live, goddammit. I'm black, baby. I'm black. Let me turn the chat. Make sure everybody in the motherfucking hot. Just like we on, baby. Yeah. Make sure everybody in the motherfucking. Alright, we on. See some motherfuckers start popping up in my chat. You know we moving the groove. I wait on you. I know y'all gonna be there. That's right. That's right. I'm gonna just sit back and chill. Time to shit up. I let y'all come on in, y'all. Let y'all come on in. In the meantime, woo! Don't look too dizzy and fucking fall out there, bust your motherfucking head on something, nigga. Yeah, baby. We doing it big tonight, baby. I want all my family to come in. Y'all know how we do. Come on in, children. Come to the light. Come to the light. Come your ass on in. Been sitting out there in dark. See a king drink out of this. This my little cup. You see what I'm saying? See how I grabbed that motherfucker? I grabbed that motherfucker like one of them little baby McDonald cups. Where you at? Come on in. What we looking like? Wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. Hey, you can't be a gorilla unless you beat on your chest. Okay? Okay? I want motherfucking apologize for that. You can't be a motherfucking gorilla unless you beat on your chest. So tonight, I beats my motherfucking chest. Alright, boom.
Yep. Guys, I got something in store for y'all today. Now, I know y'all saw earlier what I had the name of the show to be. I said the return of Bobby Brown, y'all, provides us with tomfoolery scholarship. And pseudos always die at their own source. Y'all know we say in this community, this debate life, y'all know how I do, you know what it is. Y'all know how I do on this channel. And I thought about it. I said, nah, let's slow this down a little bit. Let's give this young man a chance to come onto the platform and provide proof that he's a real scholar. So we're going to do that today. Family, I need everybody to do me a favor. Since you are in the building, I need y'all to press that live button, press that like button, go share the video. Let everybody know that I am live with Mandinka Mali, the Mandinka Mali, also known as JJ7000. And we're going to have a good conversation today because we're going to go over the opening round of this debate. And I'm going to be very critical of what I heard in this debate. Because there was a lot of confusion going on with the debate title, with the debate itself, with what was being said, who said what, the opening rounds, and all of that. And me being quite familiar with debates, I decided, you know what? If that's what you want to do, we're going to do that. We're going to go over some of his sources that he presented today. Because it's only right. Because some of these sources, we want to know, we want to get the proper citations for them today. We're going to do that today. Only over here, right here on Chris MVP Harris, the channel. I'm your host with the most, guys. I want to give a shout out for everybody that's tuning in today. I want to give a shout out to everybody tuning in today. I want to give a shout out starting from the top to the bottom, to the bottom, to the top before we bring our guest on and we go over this video. I want to give a shout out to Dr. Bombay. He was the first man in the building standing on business. I got St. Kofa Shakur. This brother said he tapping in from Compton, live from Compton. Shout out to that brother right there, man. Peace to you. Once again, giving a shout out to Rakim777. He is in the building standing on business, the profit department. Shout out to Ava and Moria. Shout out to, let's see who else we got up in here. Silent K, Saran Lata. We got Jenny Hayes, right? And Jenny Hayes, Infinite God, the Free Thinkers podcast is in the building. We got Authentically Erica in the building. I got moderators on deck. Ramon Beer is in the building. We got Jay the Smoke, Jay the Snake, Jay Snake the Great is in the building. Who else we got up in here? We got Cedric Ortega, Pseudo Killer Official in the building. It would not be right to not have him up in the building today. It wouldn't be right. So giving a shout out to that brother right there. Saying shout out to him. Shout out to Ramon Beard, Jamar Shala, Eric Graham, aka Seafood Hands, is up in the building. Let's see, we got Marcel the Great up in the building, and we got Mandinka Mali in the building today. Guys, we're gonna go over the opening round. We're gonna go over Cedric's opening round because there's some confusion going on with this debate. So we got to pull up Paradigm Shift TV where everybody can get over there and do me a favor and subscribe to that brother's channel because I will be using his content today. Go subscribe to Brother Pianki's channel. Shout out to everybody tuning in once again. We're going to get this thing going. I'm going to bring the guest on here today. I'm going to bring everybody's favorite debater on stage. And we're going to say shout out to Mandinka Mali. He is in the building. Turn your camera on. Don't nobody want to see your ugly ass. But you are in the building. Say shout out and welcome to the platform, Mandinka Mali. Turn your camera back on. Let everybody know who you are. Let everybody see you.
Yeah. Hey, the most feared debater on this goddamn planet in the goddamn building. Hey, let me do a flashback, Chris. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatah. You hear me? Kwam Yasha. I ain't did it in so long, man. Hey, it felt good saying it. But, you know, I had to leave that little clique over there, man. Because them guys wasn't putting out the right information. You hear me, Chris Harris? MVP. I am one of the most feared debaters on this goddamn planet. And when y'all sit back and evaluate and watch this debate, there is a clear-cut winner. And he go by the name of JJ 7000. Then think about it. The House of Conscience go.
Okay,
the People's Champ.
Okay.
I got all kind of accolades. And Cedric
That's great. That's great. That's great.
You know how I do.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. But the one thing
let
that
me get my accolades out. Now this guy right here, man. Let me tell you something, man. You came to the debate, and I did a survey. Nobody learned anything from you.
Wait, JJ.
Go ahead.
Thank you. We'll get into that later. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Now, the one thing we have to respect is a judge's rendering. I cannot disrespect that platform by going against those judges' renderings over there. So that's the one thing I don't want to discuss. All right, that's not fair to this platform.
Because I respect the judges' rendering over there. Me and DMG snapped out on me at the end. We already talked about that. He made a public apology, whatever. It's good. I'm good with that because I know, hey, two judges don't really make, what the consensus of the community is saying. So I'm talking to skilled debaters. You hear me? Skilled debaters. You destroyed this guy.
And that's what we're gonna be. That's what we're gonna be dealing with today. We're gonna be taking a look at the skill and some of the ethics that was being presented during the debate. I asked one thing.
Policies, all that, straw man, all that.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull this forth. We're gonna get ready to get this thing started here. I want to say shout out to Dr. Bombay is in the building, guys. Do me a favor, hit that Cash App up, guys. Look, man, support my brand. Y'all over there supporting everybody else. Y'all supporting everybody else. Hey, man, support the brand. Either hit the Cash App up, guys. Do me that favor. You guys can buy me lunch or dinner tomorrow night. Or you could just hit that like button and share the video and let everybody know I'm live. Either one is fair and fine with me. All right. We do not solicit scholarship or information over here. Once again, without further ado, I have JJ 7000 in the building. He has some Kabbalistic shirt on, and he's throwing curses on everybody here. I'm gonna give a shout out to sister. Yeah, we're gonna give a shout out to Sister Amber. She is in the building. What's up, little sis? How are you doing? How you doing, little sis? Let's get this thing popping. We're gonna pull this up, and we want to pull up Cedric's, if I might say personally, masterful first round. But there's some questions that I want to ask about this first round. So family, without further ado, giving a shout out Paradigm Shift TV and Brother Pianki for letting me use this footage. Thank you very much. I want you guys to get over there and support the brand, support the channel. He's going to be putting together a lot of debates over there. And maybe me and him can start working together.
About Pianki. Yeah, man, me and him always do that, but we always get back on point. So don't pay attention to the end of the debate. Don't do that because it's big. the information is bigger than what happened at the end. So a lot of times, at the end of some of the debates, we go into the theatrics and it distract from the information that was told during the debate. So go ahead, Chris. Now let's get into
Yeah,
this.
1 second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you gotta just wait till I bring you in. I got you. All right. Take a deep breath. I got it from here. All right.
7,000 though, Chris. You know I'm high.
Okay. Well, I understand, but you gotta let me talk. I don't want to start hitting mute and you crash out. Okay. So shout out to Mika too. She has joined the platform today. So shout out to that sister right there. Shout out to everybody tuning in. Let me get this beautiful bean footage up and we're gonna get this thing started right now. Brothers and sisters, can everybody see this? Yep, everybody can see this. Mika too, she says this is gonna be crazy. Watch. Yeah, tell me about it. Let me get the mute down. Let me get the music down. And let's go into the first round. We got brother Cedric Ortega, pseudo killer official, will be going first with his opening one.
Hey Chris, are you doing the opening? You got, because the opening is very important.
That's JJ. Right. I can't be disturbed when I'm setting the stage. Okay, I got it under control.
Let me see.
Okay, thank you. I got it under control.
Let's go.
All right. So, without any interruption, we're going to be going into the first round, which consists of an opening and a premise round. And I'm going to be paying fine attention. JJ, what was the name of this debate?
Thank you very much, Mr. Harris. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the name of this debate.
Can you bring it down a notch? Can you bring it down just a little bit?
Man. Come on, man. I agreed to come on here. You got to let me be me. The name of this debate is, did Christopher Columbus reach the Americas before Africans? So that means he has to prove that Christopher got anything. I want to see his Peter and Nina, Santa Maria, ship logs, all that. Let's stop right there. Because he tried to put the burden on me. Now, if it had been Africans coming here before Columbus, I would have had to prove first. But it's on him, and he went first, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check it out. Let's go,
okay, so let's talk about that. Your stance is that Christopher Columbus did not come here before Africans.
Yes, the title of the debate is
I know what the title is. I'm asking you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so who's the affirmative?
Listen, he's the guy that's supposed to go. He's starting first. He's going first. He's finna state his case. We're gonna see if he stated, because I'm gonna come on and state my case. All right, let's go. I see you, Solomon. I see you in there.
Okay, so your position in this debate is Africans got here before Christopher Columbus. Am I correct?
The title of the debate is, did Christopher Columbus come to the Americas before Africa?
This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. I'm sorry, family. This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. And I'm trying real hard here to have this conversation with the guy. And brother, you are acting as if I'm debating. I have an audience that I have to communicate to also. And I'm trying to communicate the parameters of YouTube's discussion. All I'm asking you is what your stance is so they can follow you and that they could follow him. That's all I'm asking you. This is simple. If you're on another platform, beloved, you gotta let the person ask you questions. I'm not interrogating you one bit. I know what the name of the debate is, but you're on here debating me right now. I know you have to let the audience know your stance. Here, this is why I say debate ethics are out of control on YouTube. The title only gives inference to the discussion. That's all it does. You don't win a debate on a title. This is where it gets ridiculous at. I'm trying to have I want to have a peaceful conversation with this brother, but all I'm asking him for, what is his premise for the debate? Because it's simple. If you're saying Africans landed before Columbus did, and I'm hearing in your opening statement, or as we're going to hear in your opening statement, that Africans landed here first, why are you two both arguing from a positive affirmative position? That's all I was going to ask you. And I've told you I was going to be very critical of this because we're going to be getting into debate ethics. Since you've come on here, you've been dictating the parameters of the discussion. That's crazy to me. So let's go. We're going to go to round one.
Just let me know once the screen is shared and tell me go. I'll go.
All right, your screen is shared.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I sit here.
This nigga's crazy. Let's go. God damn.
Today before you to address and debunk the pseudo-historical claims made by Mandinka Mali 7000 regarding pre-Columbian African presence in the Americas. These claims rely on fabricated sources, selective interpretation of genetic and archaeological evidence, and a fundamental misunderstanding of human migration patterns. My goal tonight is to show that these theories fall apart under the scrutiny of evidence-based reasoning and establish scientific consensus. Let's delve into the key points and demonstrate why these claims do not stand up to rigorous examination.
Okay.
Let me first provide an overview of the main arguments put forth by JG 7000. Fabricated sources. Now, stick with me, folks. These sources, the sources cited by Mandinka Mali 7000 include books and articles, are often unverified. When you search for these references, they either do not exist or cannot be found in credible academic databases. This is a clear red flag. These so-called sources are not legitimate references. They only serve to mislead audiences by presenting what seems like scholarly support, when in reality, these so-called sources are part of an elaborate fabrication. Misuse of genetic evidence. One of the key references often cited is Theodore Herr, whose work is misinterpreted in this context. Herr's research supports the idea that Native Americans have East Asian origins through migration across the Bering Land Bridge, not African ancestry. His findings are manipulated to fit a narrative that simply doesn't align with his actual research. Teeth and morphology. Another claim revolves around dental traits supposedly linking Native American populations to African ancestors. While it is true that some dental traits are shared between various populations, including East Asians and Africans, these traits are not exclusive to African populations and certainly do not serve as solid evidence for pre-Columbian African migration to the Americas. African artifacts and arrowheads. Claims of African artifacts such as golden arrowheads are often presented as proof of African presence in the Americas. However, these artifacts are highly speculative. In many cases, they lack any credible scholarly support or verifiable evidence. Show me a museum. These so-called discoveries are often misrepresented or misidentified objects that do not hold up under serious academic scrutiny. Now, let us turn to overwhelming scientific consensus that contradicts these claims. Human migration studies, particularly those in genetics and archaeology, tell a clear story of Native American origins. Mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosome haplogroup has been extensively studied, and these studies show no significant African genetic markers in pre-Columbian populations in the Americas. The genetic evidence overwhelmingly supports the idea that Native Americans descend primarily from East Asian populations that crossed the Bering Land Bridge more than 10,000 years ago, not from Africans. These are your sources right here. Archaeological evidence. The archaeological record further supports this. The Clovis culture, one of the earliest known cultures in North America, showed no indication of African influence or migration. Furthermore, the complex societies that developed in the Americas, such as the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas, have distinct cultural, technological, and agricultural characteristics that are consistent with East Asian and indigenous American development, not African. Want more sources? These are actual sources. Now, Mandinka Mali claims that a 16th century codex proves African contact with Native Americans before Columbus is completely irrational, as a document created after Europeans' arrival cannot serve as evidence for pre-13th century events. These codices in question, such as the Codice del Año and the Codice Mendoza, primarily depict Mesoamerican history, religion, and tribute systems, not African visitors. The misinterpretation, lookership of dark-skinned figures ignores artistic conventions and lacks supporting genetic, linguistic, or archaeological evidence. Additionally, arguments based on all
5 minutes.
Okay, Jay Menace, not right now. Just wait a little bit until after everything, but we want to get through this first round. Okay.
There's 5 minutes.
Modern racial stereotypes rather than historical accuracy. Mandinka Mali 7000 claimed that West Africans, particularly the Mali Empire, built ships capable of crossing the Atlantic, is a pseudo claim due to the lack of archaeological evidence. There is no remains of transoceanic West African ships or signs of oceanic navigation tools. Mali's navigational technology was designed for ravine and coastal navigation, not long distance ocean travel. Furthermore, there is no direct historical evidence or cultural exchange to support the idea of pre-Columbian contact between West Africans and Native Americans. Overall claim is speculative and unsupported by concrete proof. The fallacy in JJ's claim is primarily argument from ignorance and misinterpretation of evidence. The claim assumes that because there is no evidence disproving the possibility of pre-Columbian African voyages, it must be true. Dr. Clyde Winter, sickle cell, how our work has been criticized by many in the academic community for speculative interpretations and lack of peer review. While he uses genetic markers like HLA-B35 to argue for pre-Columbian African contact with the Americas, his conclusions have not been widely accepted or verified by mainstream scholars. If JJ 7000 attempt to use Winter's work as evidence, it is important to highlight that these theories are controversial and have not been rigorously peer-reviewed or confirmed by the broader scientific community. Peer review is a critical part of scientific process, ensuring that research findings are rigorously tested and validated by experts in the field. Dr. Clyde Winter's work, while presented as evidence for pre-Columbian African contact with the Americas, has not undergone the level of peer review that would lend it credibility in the broader scientific community. As such, any information drawn from his research should be treated with caution, as it lacks the verification and acceptance that peer-reviewed study carries in academic debates. The lack of Colombian African presence. There is no credible evidence in archaeology or history to suggest that Africans made contact with the Americas prior to Columbus. While there were African explorers in the later centuries, such as the Portuguese and Spanish, there is no indication of pre-Columbian African presence in the Americas. With the scientific consensus established, now let's address the specific claims one by one, starting with the fabricated sources and the misuse of Dr. Skirt's research. We'll then move on to the arguments surrounding dental traits, so-called African artifacts, and other fabricated evidence. As we break down these claims, I will show you how each falls apart when subject to rigorous scrutiny, and why the theory of pre-Columbian African presence in the Americas is nothing more than a baseless and misleading narrative. With that, I yield the floor.
Okay, so what problem do you have with that right there? What's your problem with that right there, with everything Cedric just did?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Chris Harris, for giving me the opportunity to go over this information. I've been doing this journey for about like 3 years on this information. Me and Garfield, whatever, was supposed to do this debate, and y'all should have debated me then, because now I have tapped into the genetics and the artifacts, but listen, this guy opened up to debate. This is my problem with this, and you're fighting arguments, which is straw man arguments that I haven't even presented to the debate, Chris. You can't start off a debate like that. I'm gonna show, hey, this is why I'm here in my opening, and you probably be like, I'm here to prove. He never said I'm here to prove that Christopher Columbus came to the Americas before Africans. Okay, so I never mentioned gold and arrowheads. I mentioned gold tip spears. Those are two different things, Cedric. All right. Look, come on, Chris. Let me get into what I'm pointing out, bro.
I'm just listening to you. That's all.
You huffing and puffing, bro. I mean, come on, man.
I'm just taking a deep breath. I have asthma.
Okay.
Why you shouldn't be focused on me huffing and puffing.
Let me break down you asked me my problems. Clovis culture. When you bring that up, no, we're talking about the goddamn before 1492. We're not talking about the Clovis culture, and did they have this mixed in with them?
JJ, Clovis culture is before 1492.
Yes, sir, but we're not talking about admixtures with the Native Americans, as far as with Europeans.
No, that's not what he said.
Chris, can I you ask, see, bro, I agreed to come over here. I already know I'm in hostile territory, but I'm being respectful, but can you at least let me break down what I had a problem with, bro? And then you want to fight with Cedric? I mean, come on, bro. I'm being respectful, man. We're trying to grow and develop. GD. The source that he put up there on that screen had nothing to do with the debate. How did that source that he put up? How did it prove his point of Christopher Columbus coming to? Go back to that source he put up. Go back to the screen. Go back. We're breaking it down. Go back to where he finally put some little website up there that had nothing to do with the debate. I never brought out the Olmec heads, y'all. He said something about Olmec heads. So why you bringing that up? I already been through that with y'all. So I'm coming. See, I prepared. See what I did? I put the debate out there. You think that I'm going to talk about this, and I'm coming at different. I'm coming at with sickle cell. I'm coming at, and then he said he debunked Clyde Winter's work in this debate on sickle cell. But remember, y'all, I haven't even went yet for him to debunk anything that I'm presenting. Then he goes and say, well, I went on JJ's Facebook page. Now you're debating me something on my Facebook page. You're supposed to, if you go first, present your case. And then I come back, all right, present my case, plus rebuttal what you said. You cannot do rebuttals in the beginning of a debate, and you're not giving the people your case. That's all I'm saying. Those are straw man arguments, Chris, because I haven't even said that yet. Okay, so what else we got? I never brought up ships. I never brought up ships yet, Cedric. Never. We have to point out these straw mans. All right, what else? Chris, I got a list as I'm almost done. And he's trying to deny cultural exchange. And if you look at his slides, none of these have sources. He didn't show us how he vetted them. He didn't show us how he cross-referenced them. But y'all want to hold me to these standards, and I'm trying my best to do that. But y'all not holding my opponent accountable at the same standards. And that's why I'm here. Let's keep it going. All right, where is the source? Nobody named. Okay, Dr. Clyde Winters. He said, look, Dr. Clyde Winters, I haven't brung up Dr. Clyde Winters. This right here. This right here, bro. If you just go, he just put up a website. But when I put up my stuff, y'all require me to break it down, where you get it, JSTOR, all that, and y'all not holding him accountable. And then we got another source where he went more into his information, where he asked his chat GP3 are indigenous Americans from Asia, and they're not from Europe. This is how he questioned to manipulate the GPT, and he put it up there. But the title, the heading, this blue title that he have up there, has nothing to do with the source that he presented. I caught all that after we slowed it down. But my main gripe is that Cedric, you were supposed to state a case about Christopher Columbus. Yeah, he landed this port over here in the Caribbean, and then him and his family settled here. We got artifacts. We got this. Then all of these Italians made their presence in Mesoamerica. They start admixing with indigenous people. Because now you have, if you don't believe my story about Abakar II that Master Musa told, and I don't believe your story about his voyage, because there's no. So I'm the first person really challenged this in the community about Christopher Columbus. So we need to see documents, bro. We need what he couldn't tell me what the Nina, the Pina, the Santa Maria, none of that was, bro. He didn't state his case. All he's doing is crying about sources that he gonna think I'm bringing up in the beginning. That's just what it is. Hold on, what else I got? Y'all gotta stop judges based on information, not who you like and who you don't like. I go on everybody's platform and debate, but y'all scared to come on the Lion's Den and debate. Why is that? And everybody know when y'all see me hosted, I'm neutral. You seen how I did Sarnetta and goddamn Cesar debate. As they're debating, I'm pointing out everything that they said each round. Oh, and Sarnetta hit him with this. Oh, Cesar hit him with that. That's what I wanted the judges to do. Especially if you fell off for 53 minutes. You got them right. I'm gonna bring up, well, what's the hell going on? She's disqualified. One judge vote this way, one judge vote that. It's a draw. But in the audience, there was more sevens than it was for you.
Okay, I got you. I got you on this.
Let me get the last two. He keeps saying peer review articles. Peer review articles are for students, really. You can do your research and then try to get it published. That just because you say peer review article, that don't make the creme de la creme of the information in the finale. And let me go. He keeps saying scientific consensus. Yes, sir. All the black great scholars, and then yes, of course, they're going against your system, pseudoscientific ideologies when they pushing this racist agenda, when they're pushing that Christopher Columbus was the first here. That's the main thing that they're pushing. And that he came here before everybody else and discovered this, right? But Cedric in this debate did not prove anything about Christopher Columbus. We need to see the diary. And then, hold up. This is where I'm going to kill you, Cedric, because I said the diary ain't real. Watch this, Chris. You say it's true. I got information that's saying that it's not true. See, I flipped it on you, right? Because in the beginning, I said, well, hey, in the diary, let's watch this, Chris. I said in the diary before, in the preliminaries and all that, in the back chats and all that, I said, but they in this diary, he supposedly wrote down that, he met up with these indigenous people, and they said that, hey, he already encountered some people that look like Ethiopians. So Christopher Columbus, in these so-called fairy tales, said that he already knew about Ethiopians. And you validate and you say that this diary is authentic. Now you got a goddamn problem. I can put that on.
Watch your language.
I'm sorry, Chris. I can put that on the screen right now. So you in some trouble now. I flipped it on you.
Okay, so you were addressing.
My opponent, man. Damn.
You're not. Listen.
All right, go ahead, man. Do your thing. This is your show.
Yeah, I'm just trying to sit up there and say is you said that one of the arguments that you're making here is, and I told you I was going to be critical on both sides. One of the arguments that you made here on Cedric is you said that he didn't show any sources, and he has he has two of his sources up right there. He has one from the National Center for Biotechnology Information. He has that one sitting right there.
Number? Where's the DOI number?
It's a website. Excuse me. That's a hyperlink. Hold on, real quick. Oh, excuse me.
Yes.
Real quick. First of all, when he's dealing with genetic evidence, he's using the National Center of biotechnology information as his point. He put the hyperlink in there to show you this is where he's getting his information from. You can't kick the can and say, okay, and say, where's the ISBN number? Because he's using a hyperlink to show his source. It's a hyperlink in which he's pulling that from. Right. All right. There's no ISBN. Okay, real quick, but there's no ISBN number associated with it because it's not a book. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay, but now, Chris, look what his source he putting up. Mitochondrial DNA, Y chromosome haplogroups have been extensively studied, and these studies show no significant African genetic markers in pre-Columbian populations in America. Genetic evidence overwhelmingly supports the idea that Native Americans descend primary. The key word is primary. We're not asking where Native, this is a trick, bro. We're not asking where Native Americans primary descend from. We're talking about 1492, and this is what they do, bro. 1492, ladies and gentlemen. Now, who came over here around that time?
This is only an opening.
And then I know this, Chris, but what I'm saying, he's already putting up information that I ain't even established an argument.
What the question needs to be now is, did either one of you all share your sources with one another?
And I you know what? I suggested that because that's what I suggested that.
So you suggested to share your sources with Cedric Ortega, and what happened after that?
Did you see what they wasn't shared?
They wasn't shared. So if you guys share your sources, because we're talking about debate ethics, obviously
right.
You're upset.
Yeah.
So if you share your sources, then you guys won't have these problems because now you guys are arguing each other's. You're arguing what one another is preventing and where you're getting your information from, right?
Right.
So since you did not share your sources, he has to try to disarm. Hold on, let me finish showing you something here because you could learn something. Since you did not share your, since you neither one of you shared your source,
bro. Just to be honest, go ahead.
Okay, cool, great, wonderful. Since neither one of you shared your sources, he has to guess to try to guess what you're going to do to disarm you. This is not a premise round. This is just his opening, and he's just listing all the arguments that he's going to be making. And he listed all his he's listing his his sources right here, which you said that he didn't. So you got to be careful with that. I'm talking to you about debate ethics. You were saying in your diatribe that he did not show any sources, and the sources are clearly up here. This is just an opening.
Listen.
That's the problem. I'm listening.
Okay, so listen. No, bro. Don't turn this to that, man. Because we talk behind the scenes. You didn't act like this. Let's just do this right for the people in the public. All right? You're a grown man. I'm a grown man.
Yeah, I know I'm a grown man and I'm acting like one, and I'm addressing some of the claims that you're making against his opening.
Okay, this is exactly why I wanted to kind of do this on a neutral setting where we can kind of, we ain't got to, one, just my show so I can dominate. I don't want to do this, bro. All I'm saying, look, his source, did he open it up? Did he open up the source? Because y'all require me.
So you're kicking the can. No, nobody's recording. Listen to what I'm saying.
Let's keep going.
Okay, all right. Cool.
Yeah, before y'all go.
Are you about to talk over me and talk to the audience and try to get me to move on faster?
Go ahead.
All I'm doing is trying to show you guys proper debate ethics right here so you guys don't have this confusion in the future. If you share your sources, you would have no argument because he's read the sources that you're presenting and vice versa.
I said that, bro. I'm good with that.
Okay, cool. So far, right here in the opening, he's been providing sources.
Okay, let me ask you this then, since you said he did.
It's right here on the screen.
Okay, but Chris, who's the guy?
Who's the guy? What do you mean?
What you mean? What I mean? Open up the source so we can see who's the guy behind the research. But let's keep going.
The National Center of Biotechnology information. That's the source. Oh, and he also, let me see what else he uses here. He uses the
look. Dr. Geneticist assured that I brought up information about, listen, because you can read it, in our talkings behind the scene. So if you're bringing people up before the debate that I didn't even bring up in the debate,
this is just opening, JJ.
Listen, Chris, that's not in my
GG, he's not straw manning you here. This is an opening. He hasn't straw manned you at all. This is his opening.
Continue to watch. Let's go.
I'm just trying to, first thing we have to establish is an ethic. This is how he's going to be arguing and some of the inferences that he's going to be using to debunk you. Okay, he's trying to say, hey, look, just listen for a minute. You can actually learn something today. He's listed the University of Penn, which is an Ivy League school, by the way. It don't get no better than that. He uses www.coreknowledge.org. He used DNAexplained.com as it pertains to Clovis culture. And the article is, he pulled this article from Clovis people are Native Americans and from Asia, not Europe. So
That's
he's
not the
showing you
debate.
where
You
he's
hear
pulling
me?
that.
Clovis people
listen
from
what
America, not Europe, is not the debate. And look at the bottom source.
Okay, this
Look,
is
Clovis
just
people,
an
listen,
opening, JJ. Why don't you understand that?
Okay, this is opening. But I'm showing you his
You
opening.
wanted to do this.
Yep, and you don't want to listen, bro. You want to be right. I'm just saying, can you just give me some slack? I'm gonna say this.
I have given you slack, but
Listen,
part of it
bro.
is you said that he didn't show any sources, and I'm showing you he showed sources.
Okay, Chris, can you prove that these sources prove his case that Christopher Columbus came to the America?
He's showing you how he's going to be arguing throughout the debate in his very next round. JJ, watch this. In his very, I'm not trying to win anything.
You won that one.
No, see, that's the problem here. Whenever you show up, Ron, okay, it's www.coreknowledge.org, in which you said that he did not provide any sources.
Chris, read the bottom source.
It says archaeological evidence. The archaeological record further supports this. The Clover culture, one of the earliest known cultures in North America, show no identification of African influence or migration. Furthermore, the complex societies that developed in the Americas, such as the Aztec, Mayans, and Incas, have distinct cultural, technological, and agricultural characteristics that are consistent with East Asian and indigenous American development, not African.
Okay, now stop there. So is that enough to prove his case, or should he show the studies?
Okay, yes, he showed the study right down here in the link.
Where? No,
right down there where it says DNA explained, Clovis people are Native Americans and from Asia, not Europe, to coreknowledge.org, what's it called, under the content uploads. You can just go pull those sources yourself. You could have just pulled those sources yourself.
Let's pull it up now then.
No, I'm not going to do all of that. I'm not going to do all of that. You know why? Because you stated why you were complaining. This is why I did not want to go here.
This is your show, bro. Okay, let me just say this, and you got the reins. Now look at this, y'all. Can I still talk to the people for 3 seconds? Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm stating my side. He put something up here. Clovis people are Native Americans from Asia, not Europe. That is not the debate, y'all. Don't let this guy fool you. Me and Kareem caught this the other day. Look, this is the source that he getting his information from. What and then we even asked AI, what did this got to do with the debate? And it said nothing. I can show you that too. But look at this. Clovis people are Native Americans and from Asia, not Europe. That's a leading question that he asked the goddamn AI. Let's keep going, Chris. You right, I'm wrong. Let's go. I'm trying to grow, bro. Let's go. Ain't no argument because I'm going to get my information out. Let's go. Go ahead, brother. I ain't mad at you.
Okay, cool. So
correct me when I'm
all right,
wrong.
so let's move on here. Let's go ahead here. Let's go back here. Let's go here because we're just gonna agree to disagree here.
Human migration studies.
Okay.
In cases they lack any credible scholarly support.
Okay, so right here, what he did was he gave you an overview in his opening, right? So in his overview, these are his points of antithesis.
Yeah.
So what he's going to be, no, this is how he's going to be arguing for and against you tonight. This is why he said fabricated sources, misuse of genetic evidence, teeth and morphology, African artifacts and arrowheads. Right. These are all things that you were presenting in your debate.
And what debate?
In this debate tonight that you had on here, we can go to a round when you were producing. 1 second. Excuse me. Listen, I don't have no dog in this fight.
No, you said
I listened to this debate.
That's
not what I said. Okay, JJ, that's not what I said. You even provided the Malian, African anchors. So you did try to provide some type of evidence. As he's stating here, when it says African artifacts and arrowheads.
He said golden arrowheads He harped on that.
But you said he said
Chris, hold up.
Spears.
Come on, let me work with me.
No. I am working with you, JJ. You think? Watch this. One second, JJ. Family, does it sound like I'm trying to make JJ look stupid? Press 1 if I'm not trying to make him look stupid. Press 2 if I'm deliberately on here trying to make this man look stupid.
And press 1 if you think this nigga can't make me look stupid. Press that. Now let's continue, bro. You can't make me look stupid.
Man, get your dumb ass out of here. Cedric fucked you up in that debate. That's the problem. And you don't even have the audacity to say, you know what? Due to my intensity, I was wrong in the debate about him not showing sources. And he was giving sources the entire time. You were just literally on here making an argument that he never gave sources. And I pulled it right up and boom, there it is. It's right there. You do this to yourself because you lack debate ethics. Here, let me tell you something here. You suck at debating. You suck. It was easy. It would have been easy for me to sit up there and say, hey, guys, you know what? Yeah, he did provide sources. I was wrong there. Meanwhile, you're fighting with me the entire time based on what you said. Family, am I lying? Am I lying? Didn't he say this man showed him no sources? You know what it was, Jay? You know what it is, JJ? You don't want to show them scarce sources that you use because that's why you were supposed to come on here. You were supposed to come on here tonight and show where you got them sources from in your debate. And you didn't want to show them. Instead, you wanted to argue about the judge's rendering over there on your platform. And rather than you sit here and be humble and just learn proper debate ethic and etiquette, you decide to argue with me. You ain't got no sources. I put that shit together and you're exposed. And you didn't like the fact even Josh Shub got up there and told you you were wrong. And Cedric disarmed you in this opening. It was marvelous. That is a 10 out of 10 what Cedric did because everything that he said you were going to do, you did. And you're going to sit up here and think that I'm going to let you disrespect Cedric and call him a liar when he's showing sources. You didn't even understand something as simple as this right here, bro. You didn't even understand his points of antithesis, his points of argumentation. Where's the sources? Where are the sources? Where are the sources? Where are the sources? Who said it? Who said it? Who said it? These are his points that he's going to be arguing. You use fabricated sources, misuse of genetic evidence, teeth and morphology, African artifacts, and arrowheads. And you brought up some Malian anchors. And when he asked you, where were these anchors at in the museum? Guess what you did? I ain't know I got to answer all that. You ain't no debater. You a clown. And no matter how many times I try to help you out, you act like this. You a crash out. What you're upset about is, boom, you tried to use ambush scholarship and Cedric disarmed you. How is he going to argue against Christopher Columbus not landing here? It's a consensus. He's got what's it called? He's got journals about what he saw. Here, I'll pull one up, but you know what a pseudo gonna say? A pseudo gonna sit up there and say, oh, that's fake. With nothing but commentary from conspiracy theorists to try to prove it wrong. You don't want to be helped. You want to get over here and disrespect this man's platform, arguing about the judge's rendering. I'd have been like, okay, move. Boom. I'm going to move on. I'll get better. Family, I'm going to let y'all see JJ's opening. I'm going to let y'all see this tomfoolery. It's something wrong with him. Let's go to his opening real quick. And then we'll go read Christopher Columbus' journal, which is a primary source, which serves as a primary source, which debunks your claims that he didn't land over here. He wrote down the date. He wrote down what he saw. If it was so much about Christopher Columbus not landing in the Americas, why were you trying to prove that Africans were here first? Why wasn't your articulation in this entire debate about Christopher Columbus never landing here? You never did it. You were trying to prove Africans got here first. That's called ambush scholarship, bad ethics. It don't even take me long to realize that. And that's why you want to keep staying here and arguing over something as insignificant as an opening. The opening is for the audience so the audience can follow Cedric's argumentation and his points of antithesis throughout the debate. You argued Africans being here. You were not arguing Christopher Columbus never landed. You just stated the journal fake based on some commentary from we don't know who. You couldn't even say it there. What do you think? I'm stupid? This is why I didn't want to do this. Because I knew in his opening, this opening round, it was just going to disarm your entire argument. Cedric family. Cedric did nothing wrong. Cedric did nothing wrong. The problem is, JJ, you can't take the heat. You want to argue. You want to fight. You want to run from debate platform to debate platform. And I knew you were going to crash out tonight. I knew that. This is a simple debate. You can't prove. You can't force somebody to go against a consensus. And if you guys would have just shared your sources, there's no room for argument. If I'm debating Tahuti Afar, hey, what books are you reading? Okay, let me get them 3 books that you're reading. Here's the 3 books that I'm going to be attacking you with. Some of my points of antithesis are going to be in there. How about you read those first 5 chapters in each book? You can read 2 chapters a day until we meet up next week. That way it'll be fresh in your mind. That way, when I'm arguing, you're arguing about what I have been presenting to you, what I presented to you. No room for ambush scholarship. And you submit a premise. End game right there. Debate ethics 101. But niggas love ambush scholarship, don't they, family? They love it. He said, debate me now. Silent K said he will moderate. Debate you on what? Look, now he want to debate. What do you want to debate? Yeah, come on, let's debate. Let's debate. What do you want to debate now? How about we debate these sources I've been asking you to show us? What do you want to debate now? He crashing out, y'all. Let's go back here. He wants to debate now. Talking over everybody, fighting with the host, calling me, telling me how I'm going to do the show today. You said that he didn't show any sources. I showed you sources. Then you tried to kick the can. I don't debate dum-dums. Dummy. Bobby Brown Jaw. Mandinka Mali. Let's keep going here.
All verifiable evidence. Show me a museum. These so-called discoveries are often misrepresented or misidentified objects that do not hold up under serious academic scrutiny. Now, let us turn to overwhelming scientific consensus that contradicts these claims. Human migration studies, particularly those in genetics and archaeology, tell a clear story of Native American origins. Mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosome haplogroup has been extensively studied, and these studies show no significant African genetic markers in pre-Columbian populations in the Americas. The genetic evidence overwhelmingly supports the idea that Native Americans descend primarily from East Asian populations.
Johnny come African.
Let's go here.
You see? I've advanced certain or nuclear.
Let's go here.
Supposed to be presented to the people now. Where should I begin?
All right. So we got Cedric's opening, which he said Cedric did not use sources. You guys heard him do that. Yeah, Silent K in here trying to promote a fucking debate. Get your ass on out of here too.
Still don't see it?
No, sir.
Okay, hold
You
on.
hitting present?
Yeah, let me try it again. Share screen.
Okay, so we remember. Let's listen to JJ's now.
All right.
Yep, I still do not see it, bro. Do it like that.
Till I get it up. Do something.
Because he debating on a ColecoVision computer. That's why I've showed my age.
All right, let's go to a. While the brother is getting his stuff together, I'm gonna show you what we got coming up.
Whoa. What about now?
All right, hold on. Let's see. And you told me to go to a commercial. I go to a commercial. And then
Public enemy number one.
You got it. Sharing your screen. Let me know when you're ready.
I tried to give relevance to the
Time start when you start, brother.
Screen up. Oh, ain't no commercial break going on.
Let's listen to this. Let's listen to this.
All right, first, okay, y'all see my screen. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, let me get to my first.
First thing I wanted to do is this. The first thing I wanted to know: where'd you get this from? The presence of EM2 in the Americas. I done looked all over for this source. I can't find it nowhere. And this is not a source. This is a discussion. Where's the conclusion? Where's the methodology that proves this to be correct? You doing bad already. EM2 come out of East Africa. How did it get over here? That's why Cedric brought up Clovis culture, some of the earliest culture found over here in the Americas. Oh, they found a Takata statue in the Olmec heads. Then where's the surrounding culture? What are them Olmec heads? First millennium BCE? AD? What is them Olmec heads? Where's the surrounding African culture, material culture that you see with Africans and their artifacts and their archaeology? Where's the writings? Why would an African leave Mali, West Africa, Central Africa before colonization to come over here and eat damn water buffalo? Do you know the damage that would do to their diet? Them statues, them little terracotta statues. Here, let me help you Aboriginal ignorances out here. Them terracotta statues were brought over there by the Portuguese and the Spanish and the Dutch when they were setting up trade ports in Mexico. Stolen out of Central, East, and West Africa and Northwest Africa. That's how they got there. And y'all be reading these books by von Hoostag and African presence in the early Americas, not even understanding anthropology and archaeology. Not even understanding that these people who wrote these books some 75 years ago did not have the study of what we call more advanced anthropological studies that we have today. Wake up. We trying to, y'all pseudos trying to steal somebody else's story out here and getting mad. Got Silent K talking about debate this clown. Put him in the gulag too.
No commercial break on.
So let's listen.
Yeah, let me get to my first. All right, first, okay, y'all see my screen. First of all, ladies and gentlemen,
Time starts.
What this brother did, man, was get up here and didn't even state his case.
Fallacy number one. That's a straw man. What Cedric Ortega did in the first round is called an opening. So the only one already, you starting off bad. You're coming in with a rebuttal instead of just coming in with your opening. Moderator, word to the wise. Brother, please get on with your opening. This is not your time to rebut anything. Cedric Ortega laid down an opening, and that's all he did. Let's continue. But he'll start fighting with the moderators. Let's keep going.
You came up here and you started referring to sources and references that I didn't even bring up in this debate. Judges, I want you.
Ambush scholarship. He had the first round. Had you guys shared each other's sources, guess what? You wouldn't be arguing that. How does he know what you're getting ready to do? Like I said, he gave points of antithesis and argumentation and points of argumentation that he's going to be making throughout the debate, and he laid it out beautifully in his first round. How hard is that? But now he wants to make it look like, oh, I never said any of that.
you to note and document that. That's called a straw man argument from the gate.
No, what you're doing is straw manning him.
Right? So the information that he put on the screen is not what I'm bringing to this debate. You're supposed to be presenting to the people your information about proof that Christopher Columbus came here to the Americas. I need to see navigation. Where's the ships? You need to be showing us that. You need to be authenticating his diary, showing us that it's real. You need to be proving up here why they got this dude buried in 3 different goddamn places. Like you say, you up here, you might as well be defending Spider-Man and Jesus Christ. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this Christopher Columbus myth is perpetuated by pseudo-scientific racism. That's all this is. And you got the nerve to get in front of us and talking about, you're going to put Afrocentrics on trial. You ain't qualified to even question either Van Serter or Renuka Rashidi. You're not. Then he says, he brings up a 16th century codex that I didn't even bring up in the debate. Judges, note and document that. Bring that up when I didn't even make that argument.
He didn't bring up a 16th century codex at all. He didn't bring any of that up. You're straw manning him. He brought out his points of argumentation, what he's going to be making. That's it. That's all he did in his opening. 16th century codex. Where? You're arguing against somebody's opening, wasting your time. You're supposed to be laying out your argument in the first round. Your first round is your opening.
Argument in this debate. Then you brought up shipbuilding. I didn't say anything about shipbuilding yet. You see? Then he brought up Dr. Clyde Winters, which I didn't bring up. This is letting you know that he has no solid foundation. He has no case. But it's your job today to prove Christopher Columbus came to these lands before 1492. It's your job today to prove his haplogroup.
No, dummy. Christopher Columbus landed in the Americas in 1492, not before 1492. Dumb. That's some of the dumbest shit I've ever heard. Dummy. Let's listen to that again. That's classic.
But it's your job today to prove Christopher Columbus came to these lands before 1492.
Now he's got to prove Christopher Columbus came to these lands before 1492. Wow. And you wonder why, and he wonders why I was telling him, hey man, let's not play that opening because yours was fucking horrible. Listening is an art. But see, you're disarmed right now. He disarmed you. So you're going to complain now and create a smoke and mirror argument because he got your ass. He got you. He had you all figured out. He had you figured out and he caught you.
It's your job today to prove his haplogroup, his R1b.
Okay, remember Cedric said genetic evidence, faulty genetic evidence. He said just when he was on the show, I never brought up genetic evidence. I wasn't talking about genetics. And he's right here arguing in his opening. He got to prove Christopher Columbus DNA? Why? Why does he have to prove Christopher Columbus DNA, Jeremiah Judah? Still, we got no opening. We still have nothing that he's going to be arguing about. We've been at this now for 5 minutes. Let's keep going.
You need to prove that before any African haplogroup entered the lands, and you're not going to be able to do it. I'm going to show you how this Johnny come lately. I'm going to show you that their navigation skills is Johnny come lately. I'm going to take you to the analysis of these metals that you want to discredit. I'm going to show you how I vetted my sources. He hasn't done that. He brought up sources with my name in it.
He never brought up one source with his name in it. As a matter of fact, I showed you guys the sources that he brought up. Who's the only one straw manning here?
Hey, MVP, I don't mean to interrupt, but I just have to throw this in there.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Normally, I like to wait till you call on me to speak, but he said he gonna show how he vetted his sources, and then in the third round it was a slide, and in parentheses it said, "I checked twice for accuracy." And I'm just sitting here like, bro, but you didn't show how you checked it. You just saying it got checked. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
oh man.
Yeah. So
Oh,
far, have
man.
you heard? So far, have you heard an opening from him on what he's going to be, his points of argumentation that he's going to be presenting to the audience tonight?
Not a coherent one. I actually, before you went live, I just finished watching all 4 hours of the debate, so
Yeah.
I'm full informed on every single bit, piece, and parcel of what we about to dive into today. And audience, y'all are in for a treat. And all I gotta say is, JJ, I am again so disappointed. So disappointed.
Let's keep it going. Let's keep going. Let's keep listening to this crash out in the opening round.
How can you add my name to sources? And he didn't even vet them. You didn't show no cross references, nothing. So you want to be the epitome of trying to criticize.
Now, what I did, guys, before this conversation, I said, JJ, I want you to come on here, and I gave him 4 sources from his slides that he used. 4 slides that he used. I said, I want to come talk about these sources. I want you to cite these sources for everybody on here. Let's talk about these sources, because I found them to be very interesting. He called me back an hour later, like, let's just go over the first round. Let's just go over the first round. Then we can deal with the sources. Nah, man, you was looking for a way out, JJ. You know why? I already went around trying to vet them sources. I've been all over the internet trying to vet most of them shits. And guess what? I can't find them nowhere. Can't find them nowhere. So you're lying on Cedric when Cedric, all he did was open up his points of argumentation. Whether or not you agree how he argued or not, the only one up there lying, smoke and mirror arguments, red herrings, kicking the can is JJ right now.
Somebody in the information. What my job is to do is to show you, my thesis is to show you connection.
Still waiting on
it. Put the pieces together and y'all add it up. Because we all know that this Eurocentric way of thinking, this pseudo-scientific racist ideology that he's pushing, you know, the Charles Darwin, you're a monkey. Every time a black man say he's an Israelite, they pseudo. They say they're Kemetic, they pseudo. They say they Pan-African, they pseudo. This is the side of this is what I'm dealing with in this debate. A guy who hates himself. See, this debate is bigger than what this topic is. It's about getting pseudo-scientific racists up out of our community and stop getting the credit to these goddamn on white folks. Let's keep going.
Oh boy, but Ivan Van Sertima uses people like Leo Weiner, etc. In that book, They Came Here Before Columbus. Sorry, those are Europeans. You know what I'm saying? Like that's weird. Did you know that? Let's keep going.
Now, did Christopher Columbus come to the Americas before Africans? Let's keep going. All right. Transatlantic migration of Africans' ancestry to the Americas, genetic and historical evidence presence before 1492.
Okay, so let's take a look at this right here, what he's presenting here, guys. He presents some chart without giving us a proper source on where it came from. And it says transatlantic migration of African ancestry to the Americas, semicolon. Genetic and historical evidence of presence before 1492, right? Author, Antoine Mandinka Molly Hayes. So he cited himself. No one caught that, though. No one caught that. So he's citing himself as the authority. Yeah, Sean P., he did that. He doing that right now. He's citing himself. Let's keep it going.
Tone Mandinka Molly, affiliation lines in Academy of Education and Information, as you can see right there. Let's keep going.
So he cited himself as the authority. It don't get more pseudo than that. Yeah, he did it. Not me. Let's keep going. So far, 0 sources.
Now, this study confirms transatlantic migration of African ancestry to the Americas through genetic and historical analysis establishing presence before Christopher Columbus in 1492. You better be getting up here establishing a presence of Christopher Columbus.
That's an abstract. No source. You didn't even post a hyperlink. You know why? Because we know you using Meta AI. You know how we know? Let's go right here. If you see down here, family, it says keywords, transatlantic migration, African ancestry, genetics, history, pre-Columbian Americas. He's presenting us with an abstract. Huh? What? What?
Let's see this right here. Oh, sorry, MVP.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say this right here is why I truly appreciate growing up in the family I did, because I grew up with 8 bigger brothers, and we debated all the time about things, but we never debated on things that required us to, like you always say, have readership. It's either you know it or you don't. If you need to, not saying that it's bad to like reference something to back up what you're saying, that's not the problem. The issue is that this man is going to Chat GPT, like he said, version 3.0 specifically. That's exactly what he said. And he's typing in keywords and getting the information he's looking for, and then turning around and accusing Cedric Ortega of using confirmation bias in his searches.
Give me a break.
So any African came up here.
Okay. No source, no citation.
Chronicle DNA, autosomal DNA, and historical records. You already made a mistake when you got in front of me. Make your arguments that I didn't even make before I got in front of the people. Judges.
Okay, so let's see. He's arguing. This is how stupid he is, right? I'm just calling it like I hear it, right? He's blaming Cedric for not arguing Christopher Columbus in his opening, right? Landing here, but he's arguing Africans being here first. Why aren't you arguing Christopher Columbus never came here? Why are you arguing the existence of Africans on the soil before Christopher Columbus so far in your opening? I think somebody called Bianchi and switched the title. It's called a shift of burden of proof fallacy. You knew you didn't have enough real estate in this argument. That's why you got an abstract up here. You're not even arguing what you're supposed to be arguing. You're supposed to be arguing against Christopher Columbus, not proving Africans got here. This is why I said debate ethics, family.
Yep. And you hit the nail exactly on the head with that bait and switch tactic, because if he's trying to discredit Cedric's position, one thing that I feel like JJ and a lot of these guys don't understand is when you are the one in the debate that is coming with an extraordinary claim, you have the burden of proof on you. It is not up to the person you're debating to prove you wrong. You have to prove it right. And by proxy of him taking the position that he did and saying that Black people, African Americans, whatever you want to call it, were here in America before Christopher Columbus, the one thing that we all can agree on as a consensus, since he hates that word so much, he did not prove in his 3 rounds without a shadow of a doubt that Black people were here in America before. So you lost the debate off of that. And that's your own premise.
But see, the thing is, he's arguing. Listen to what I'm saying, Jay. The argument is Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus never set foot in America before Blacks were here. So you have to prove. That's why I asked him who's the affirmative and who's the negative. You have to prove that Christopher Columbus didn't land here. No, nigga, you're sitting up here talking about some Black people being here. That's not the topic, fool. So Cedric was right in his assessment to sit up there and disarm you in his opening.
No, I agree, because the whole time he kept, during his parts of the debate, he kept insinuating that he Well, he didn't really even insinuate. He just flat out said he doesn't even really believe Christopher Columbus was a real person. Which is why when they got to the question and answer part, he was asking Cedric the questions that he had.
Moving too far, Jay.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Note and document that. Now, the African population contributed significantly to the modern American gene pool. Let's keep going. Man.
Abstract, no source.
Now, the ancient roots of EM2.
This is the second source I sent him, asking him, can he show me where he got this from? No source. Let's listen to him.
The Americans uncovered the genetic legacy of pre-Columbian migration. This is the introduction. The people of America is a complex, multifaceted topic that has garnered significant attention from researchers across various disciplines. While the dominant theory suggests that the Americans were populated via single migrations of Asians across the Bering Land Bridge, recent genetics, your studies is outdated. You're just a mockingbird. You ain't took the time to even analyze or do any of the goddamn research yourself. Recent genetic studies have challenged this narrative, revealing a more nuanced and complex history of human migration. The whole thing is about human migration patterns, and admixtures. And goddamn it, I'm gonna show you that this African
5 minutes, JJ. 5 minutes.
Thank you. Admixed with these indigenous people way before you're gonna find a European presence. The European haplogroup didn't come into goddamn around the 16th century. Then you start seeing their pottery. Then you start seeing their weapons. These dudes, they ain't know nothing about no celestial navigation. The hell's wrong with you? Now let's keep it going, man. This dude done got in the ring with me with this nonsense. One of the most intriguing and debated topics in this field is the presence of the EM2 haplogroup in the Americas before Columbus. What haplogroup you finna bring up here, sir? Huh? The EM2 is a subclade of the E haplogroup, which is found in high frequencies in many African populations. The presence of the EM2 in the Americas has been documented in several studies, Mr. Ortega. Why are you trying to deny that? Because you're up here pushing this pseudo-scientific, racist ideologies. Well, we come from monkeys, and we didn't do nothing. We was too dumb until the white man told us. I'm here to
Okay, so let's pause it for a moment here. Let me mute my mic.
Spell, and this debate is in the honor of our black scholars, Renuka Rashidi. This debate is in the honor of Ivan Sertima. Every goddamn February, you want to try to tear them down. You and these goddamn goofs over at the other channel. Excuse me for using the ad-on. Now let's keep going. Now look at this. In several studies, and some research suggests that it may have introduced to America through pre-Columbian migration. That's pre. That ain't just. He just want to paint the picture.
Okay, so far, he's providing all. Now he gives us a background of some source in which we don't know where it came from. So this is an argument or a discussion, and he's trying to draw inferences from these articles without even showing us a conclusion, which lets us know that he did not even write his own premise. He just copy and pasted an opening. This is an opening statement.
Picture. The only reason we got over here is through slavery, because we were too dumb to get over here, and they was smart enough to understand ocean currents and things of that nature. I'm gonna show you that they wasn't in this debate. Hear me? I'm gonna show you a lot of things that you're not prepared for, sir. Let's keep it going, man. Let's keep going.
Red herring. You're talking about black people being in or Africans being in the Americas. But then you say you're going to show them that Columbus wasn't here because he didn't know how to sail. He didn't understand maritime travel or how to chart stars or nothing. But you're sitting up here reading about EM2 to us. Nah, dog, that's smoke and mirrors, dog. Those are red herrings. You all over the place. But you wanted to go over this like you just put together a masterpiece. Like he put this together and said, woo, ain't nobody messing with this. Ain't nobody messing with this. Ain't nobody messing with this right here. Ain't this the best. I'm the best to ever do it. Didn't see none of the holes in his argument, trying to hold Cedric to a position. But he himself ain't showed us no points of antithesis about Christopher Columbus not coming to America, because you ain't got no room in that argument. There's no real estate there. None. Sean said, you argued poorly against him, and that's why he's so confident and stupid, according to the debate topic. Hey, y'all, Sean P is my crash out buddy, man. Me and Sean P known for crashing out over stupidity. Oh, man. All right, let's keep it going. Faulty premise scholarship. Let's keep it going.
I'm okay. Hold on. Now listen to this. Pseudo-scientific racism and the Columbus myth. This study of the people in America has been marred by pseudo-scientific racism and the perpetuation of the Columbus myth. This idea that the Christopher Columbus discovered in America in 1492 has been widely debunked by historians.
No, that's not what this means. Hey, real quick. Remember when he said, I ain't going into no dental records? Didn't you hear that? Jay? Didn't you hear him say that?
I surely did.
Look at what he says right here. Genetic extraction and dental morphology. Cedric disarmed this nigga. That shit was masterful. It was masterful.
Oh, yeah.
So now you're arguing what you said you weren't going to argue. I was saying, the only one throwing straw mans and red herrings all over the place is you. But he wanted to go over this. He wanted to go over it. Oh, do you see a source anywhere for this?
No, I do not.
Oh, have we seen one source of information?
Nope. The only source of information that was even kind of stated would have been Antoine, whatever his last name is.
Exactly. Well, Tahuti, that's not the argument. No Portuguese, Italian, or Spaniard knew anything about maritime navigation without Northwest Africans. No one's making that argument. But we know the Spanish fleet did exist prior to the 15th century. The Spanish Armada. He said Spanish didn't even know how to sail in this debate. Our stalwart said, I am the sword.
Researchers, he got the nerve to get in front of us.
Let's read this real quick because he doesn't know what he's reading right here. And this is what it says: pseudoscientific racism and the Columbus myth. The study of the peopling of the Americas has been marred by pseudoscientific racism and the perpetuation of the Columbus myth. The idea that Christopher Columbus discovered the Americas in 1492 has been widely debunked by historians and researchers. However, this myth has been perpetuated by pseudoscientific racists who seek to erase the presence of indigenous peoples in the Americas and promote a narrative of white supremacy. All this is saying right here is they were already here. The indigenous peoples of this land were already here. So how could Christopher Columbus discover something that was already here? That's all they're saying. It didn't say that he didn't land here. It's talking about the discovery myth, meaning he can't discover something that was already discovered. Let's keep going.
Try to defend this goddamn fairy tale. You might as well be defending Santa Claus came down your chimney last year. Huh? You had milk and cookies out for him, didn't you? Prove that. It's the same thing you're doing. You might as well be in front of me with that you're trying to do up here with this. There ain't no clear-cut, conclusive evidence that Christopher Columbus came over here before the Africans. He talking absolutes. Now, this myth has been perpetuated by pseudo-scientific racists who have seek to erase the presence of indigenous people in America and promote the narrative of white supremacy. Now, what they do genetic extractions.
Y'all make sure y'all go over here to Sean P. Show this Saturday because he gonna attack this shit. Sean, I have no dog in this fight. My entire stance is his ethics is off. It's simple. You can't argue about somebody else what they not doing, and then you turn around and not do the same thing. All I wanted him to do is prove them sources and where you getting these sources from, because you was hollering out Cedric never used any. I don't care about the way Cedric argued. I believe it was masterful. Personally, he's disarmed him. Everything that JJ is saying he didn't do, he's doing. He was just on the platform saying, I wasn't arguing about no teeth. And here he is right here, genetic extraction and dental morphology, right there. I think he's slow sauce.
Oh boy.
Yeah, Mali did not have no navy. I don't care. Why would Mali need a navy to defend the Atlantic? Their enemies were coming from the north and from the east.
Yeah.
There's no need for a navy.
But see, when you say stuff like that, it might make too much sense. You know what I'm saying? So he wouldn't get it. Like when you say stuff like that, it just I don't know.
Need for it. Why would they need to go anywhere and trade? Well, let's go to the Americas. They got everything they need right there in Africa before it was colonized and raped of all its natural resources. They got everything they need right there.
Now, see, that's your problem, Chris Harris. You always want to be right.
Defended the coast from whom?
Oh, God, man. Hey, MVP, don't you think it's crazy with these dudes how in debates like this, the whole time Cedric is talking and showing his sources, he ain't showing no sources, or his sources are made up, they phony, but then all his sources are accurate and correct.
And here go my thing. Like when it comes to those indigenous arguments, listen, Sean P, he that's his lane.
Yeah.
But when you say something like Mali had a navy, put the sources down so we can see them. Tahuti, bring them sources out so we can see it. Tahuti, the link is in the chat. Come on here and show us those sources that Mali had an organized navy or a navy or hell, some boats with guns on them. I don't care. Show me something that stipulated that they had a navy, because this guy ain't gonna show it that we hearing hoop, holler, and yell. Let me put that link in the chat for a moment.
Yeah, please come make history, because you would be touching on some revolutionary, groundbreaking stuff right here.
No, Tahuti is my boy though.
No, I know.
Yeah, okay. Here's the link. Show us this navy you talking about. But let's go back to this. Let's get back to this dummy, and I am changing it. Commander Kamali don't know what he talking about. Let's listen to this tomfoolery.
Mortality. You ain't qualified to even debunk general mortality. But if you want to stay on that topic, I got plenty more for you. You're gonna be needing.
Okay, now remember he said he didn't do that. I want to go right back right quick. Let's go back here for a moment. Boom. Let me go here. Let me find it right quick. Let me go back. I want to show y'all something.
Got him dead to rights.
Let me pull back. Okay, debunking the myth, because it seems like this what they were arguing first, and knowing that clown, like he was calling me one to change the way I run my panel. He'll, hey, we gotta change the title. We gotta change the title. He was doing that with me. Here we go, right here, establishing the scientific consensus. Let's look at what he said right here. He said, now let's turn to the overwhelming scientific consensus that contradicts these claims. Human migration studies, particularly those in genetics and archaeology, tell a clear story of Native American origins. Genetic evidence. Mitochondrial DNA and the Y chromosome haplogroups have been extensively studied, and these studies show no significant African genetic markers in pre-Columbian populations of the Americas. The genetic evidence overwhelmingly supports the idea that Native Americans descend primarily from East Asian populations that crossed the Bering Land Bridge more than 10,000 years ago and not from the Africans. Archaeological evidence. I don't think this is it, but it does say the archaeological record further supports this. The Clovis culture, one of the earliest known cultures in North America, shows no indication of African influence or migration. Furthermore, the complex societies that developed in the Americas, such as the Aztecs, Mayans, and Incas, have distinct cultural, technological, and agricultural characteristics that are consistent with East Asian and indigenous American development, not African. Once again, we can go into material culture also. There was something where he was talking about teeth at family. I'm trying to find it. Geez, Cedric boy was reading a whole book. Here we go. Look right there, family. Teeth and morphology, right there. Get him, Cedric. You go ahead, buddy. Disarmed him. Genius. So when they call me and tell me, no, that man changed the title of the debate to Did Columbus Land? I believe that. Because Cedric clearly looks like he has an argument set up for Africans not being here. And it seemed like he was arguing that Africans were there. That's what it seems like was going on. And then he saw that his argument had no real estate and he wanted to change the narrative. It's called a reversal of burden of proof, or a pivot. There it is right there. Teeth and morphology. Remember, I ain't arguing about no teeth. He was just on here arguing about that. But so Cedric a lion. Here it is, teeth and morphology. Another claim revolves around dental traits supposedly linking Native American populations to African ancestors. While it's true that some dental traits are shared between various populations, including East Asians and Africans, these traits are not exclusive to African populations and certainly do not serve as solid evidence for pre-Columbian African migration to the Americas. Simple. Let's get Cedric Ortega in here. Cedric, am I hitting everything? Am I hitting everything on the head so far here? Am I hitting everything on the head?
Everything on the head. The bait and switch, the fact that he had no real estate, so he switched up the title of the debate, and I didn't change my slides. So you're seeing exactly what you're seeing. It's great that you see that.
Thank you. What I'm seeing here is your argument that they weren't here. And then what I'm seeing here is that he's saying that they were here. But but what I think he did is the same thing he did with me when I called him and said, hey, let's just talk about these sources that you provided. Nah, called me back an hour later before the show and said, hey, why don't we change it? I want to talk about the first 2 rounds. And I says, nah, you necessarily don't want to do that. I'm trying to help you here. Why don't we talk about these slides? Because Cedric's opening disarms you your entire debate.
Yep. I told him if I go first, he's like, I don't know how he debates. You need to go first. No, JJ, you're making the claim. I'm standing on the consensus. You're the one.
That's right.
He's switching up the title. So now in my opening and in the first round, what I do is establish the consensus. This is what we know, the consensus. That's clearly there. There's a whole slide summarizing what the consensus is.
Right.
How we know what we know. So I'm not going to argue that again.
Right. He's the one. That's why I asked him before the conversation got started. What was your argument? And what was your argument? He was getting mad, being defensive. Why are you being defensive? Usually that's the first clue that somebody lying.
Yep.
When you ask a simple question like that, I can ask Cedric, Juju. I can ask Domo, Strap, Taz, C-Dot, Kansu, Ngozi, Nyame. I can ask anybody what's your position, and they're going to give me their position, and then I'm going to say either I agree or disagree if we're setting up a debate on something that we are arguing about. It's simple. And DNA and anthropology defeats this. And he said live on this show, I wasn't arguing about no teeth. He made all that up. All them is straw mans. He didn't use no sources. I said, wait a minute. He's using sources right here.
Everything I use is source. And I got to read all that stuff that I know already for the debate. So how are you going to tell me I'm not sourced up? I would never do that to the audience.
And like he said, then he said, you got to argue Christopher Columbus not being here before 1492. Excuse my language, fam. Who the fuck argues that?
You got to prove Columbus DNA before 1492. Like, what? Wow. How does that make sense?
Right.
We know that Europeans got here in 1492.
Simple.
And they started to establish colonies 1501, and the genetic evidence, because we see the admixtures beginning to occur post-Columbus. That means post-1492, after 1492. Why and how would I be able to show you DNA in the Americas that isn't there? before 1492. I like it is completely like, and he keep insisting that I do that. Like, but JJ, you're killing your own argument, brother. That makes no sense. It simply didn't make sense. The debate was over from the opening. 1492, Columbus got here. First African recorded is 1501. Africans got here after Columbus. Done. The rest of it was just debunking his claims. He said in the opening, this is about migration, human migration. I'm going to show you genetic evidence. Well, Dr. Skurs and others were completely debunks you. You can't show that.
He can't show it because he don't know none of them. He don't even know how to spell DNA. All right. Simple. Let's go here and finish listening to the rest of this atrocity in the first round. His opening.
Hear me? I'm going to show you a lot of things that you're not prepared for, sir. Let's keep it going, man. Let's keep going. How many minutes? Okay. Perpetuation of the Columbus myth. This idea of the might as well be defending Santa Claus came down Yosemite last year.
That's where we was at.
Huh? You had milk and cookies out for him, didn't you? Prove that. It's the same thing you're doing. You might as well be in front of me with that you're trying to do up here with this. There ain't no clear-cut, conclusive evidence that Christopher Columbus came over here before the Africans. He talking absolutes. Now, this myth has been perpetuated by pseudo-scientific racists who have sought to erase the presence of indigenous people in America and promote the narrative of white supremacy. Now, what they do genetic extractions and dental morphology. You ain't qualified to even debunk dental morphology. But if you want to stay on that topic, I got plenty more for you that you're going to be needing to deal with. I didn't even bring it up. Now I did. Now, recent studies have... Okay,
so now he's trying to straw man in his opening. This is smoking. This is a form of smoke and mirrors, guys. When guys are doing this, he's trying to, instead of just setting the tone for his argument and being professional, what he decides to do is throw ad hominems at Cedric, insult Cedric every time he gets a chance. He's trying to treat this as like this is a rebuttal round. This is your opening round. That's it. This is your opening. Establish your opening arguments. That's all you're doing here. You just threw this together up here, genetic extraction and dental morphology, and you don't even know what you're reading. That's why you start throwing all them smoke and mirror arguments out there. Then you start reading. No source still. I still ain't seen no source. I counted several sources on Cedric Ortega, 0 on yours. But he wanted to go over this, family. I just wanted him to prove them sources. I just wanted him to prove these sources that he said was sources. That was sourced. Where'd you get them from? He didn't want to do that, family, because he can't stand on it. He didn't want to do it, family. He wanted to deal with this. He wanted to deal with this. Y'all can see how irate he was acting when I would ask him simple questions. He thought he was just going to come on here, tear down Paradigm Shift TV, tear down the judge's rendering of the debate, tear down Cedric Ortega, tear down everything, no matter how much you talk to Bianchi. I wanted to talk about the sources, not you try to prove your point that you won some debate that really don't nobody care about. It's a form of entertainment. Nobody cares at the end of the day. We're used to seeing you lose. You don't have to convince me or this audience that you won. I wanted to talk about those slides that you showed. You don't want to teach. You want to win debates, nigga. You're not good at this. Hulkamania scholarship. I like that. Cedric, you want to say something? Okay.
No.
I was genetic extractions.
Okay. And that was another thing I said. I said I really didn't want to be talking about Cedric's first or second round simply because Cedric wasn't up here. Had Cedric been up here, he wasn't going to get along with Cedric. Because he doesn't know how to talk nor act. He thinks he's got to turn into this character called JJ 7000 in order to have a simple conversation.
Deal with the genetic extraction, sir. To study the peopling of the Americas. These studies have revealed a complex and nuanced history in the human migration and admixture in the Americas. You better show us these European admixture before goddamn an admixture in the Americas. You better show us these European admixture before goddamn the 1600s. That's what you better be doing. Huh? Now,
We already won that. We already won that with the evidence. The debate is over. He showed it to you throughout the whole debate. He showed it to you in his opening.
He had lack of conclusive evidence. Despite the widespread, remember, his goal is to prove that Christopher Columbus came to these Americas before Columbus, which he has not. I'm going to be using archaeology. I'm going to be using goddamn scholarly information from geneticists. I'm going to be bringing that. I'm going to be vetting, showing that I vetted my sources and cross-references. He's not.
Okay, so this right here is when I threw up both my hands. And I said, make me want to holler, throw up both my hands. This slide right here debunks his whole debate. I want to read this to you all because he doesn't understand context. Remember, guys, he was a Christian Israelite and he's slow. He's trying to phase out of it. But one thing I tell everybody Christians lack is context. Let's read this together. It says, lack of conclusive evidence. Despite the widespread acceptance of the Columbus myth, there is a lack of conclusive evidence to support the idea that Christopher Columbus, quote, end quote, discovered the Americas in 1492. In fact, many researchers have questioned the validity of Columbus' accounts on his voyage. Listen to the words, accounts on his voyage, comma, and some have even suggested that Columbus may have been aware of the presence of indigenous peoples in the Americas before his voyage. You're dumb. This just destroyed your entire debate. And I would have clipped this so quick with my computer and plastered it there. You used this. It says he may have known about the indigenous peoples in Americas. So the arguments are that the indigenous people were already there. How can he discover anything? They were already there. Cedric, do you see that? Jay Menace, do you see that? Audience, do you see that?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's boomerang daggering himself with every time he opens his mouth. You're establishing Columbus being here.
The debate is over. That's why I said I didn't want to do this. I just wanted to go over your sources. You don't know how to read, brother.
Nope.
And you daggered yourself. I didn't say it. You did.
What's crazy, y'all, is I'm reading this paragraph here and I don't see anything about Columbus may have known that Africans were over there. I don't see it. Is it somewhere like in the fine print or is it super small? Like I can't see it, MVP. You might have to blow the screen up, look, because I can't find it nowhere. I'm going line by line.
Oh man, I ate a salad today, man. I don't know what to say. I'm a little hungry. I've been eating light lately, back in the gym and everything, hitting the bag, chopping wood, and I see this type of lack of debate ethics and decorum here. And I told him I don't want to do this because if we do this, you're gonna be made to look stupid. Smoke and mirrors don't work over here. What's that saying y'all be saying over there at the pseudo killers? Not
always die. A well-organized
lie. Bits of disorganized truth any day of the week. Every time. And a pseudo always dies at his own source. It's right here, family.
Every time. It's fail-proof.
It's easy for him to try to point the finger at everybody else and say, hey, this is the reason why I'm dumb. But the reason why you dumb because you simply just won't pick up a book and read it with context. This don't support your narrative. You can't throw smoke and mirrors at us like we can't read it. And at that, you haven't gave us one source. But your entire argument throughout this whole thing is, he ain't showing me nothing. He ain't showing me no sources. You haven't given the audience one source. Check. Said, whether I agree with him or not. His debate ethics, his decorum. You throwing shots, throwing ad hominems, ain't citing sources. I know you got done with this nonsense. Said I'm the best to ever do it. Why you got some scales up here? What's the point of scales? What are you doing? Listen, JJ, I think maybe you should keep debating to the pros. Let the guys that actually know, that read books, maybe Cedric, all them pseudo killers, all these pseudo killers, myself, let us debate. People like you ruin the community. Here, let me share something with you real quick, Cedric. When you debate, make them share their sources with you for now on.
Yeah.
Let me get 3 sources that you're using.
Yeah.
Let me get 3 sources that you're using. All you gotta do is read the first 3 chapters of any book, and I promise you, it's gonna give you everything that you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So then, when they start doing that little ambush stuff, I'm sorry, the sources that you gave me don't support what you're saying right now. What you said was A, B, and C. I'm reading these books; they don't support A, B, and C, which lets me know you didn't even read these books. Like when he went to Dr. Bordellini, I can't pronounce her name. He said it was a him when it was a woman the whole time.
And he wasn't making no claim of African ancestry.
None.
And the 8 fake sources that I pointed out, those are the same 8 fake sources that he's using in his slides in the 3rd round. The same 8 fake sources.
So we got so far his opening. He hasn't shown any citation, which you really don't have to, because it's just your points of argumentation, right? Unless you got some notes in there about genetics and how you're going to be drawing certain inferences from these studies and things like that. Like here, this is where I'm quoting this from right here. That's fine. But Cedric laid out his points of argumentation beautifully. And I was just all like, damn. I remember when I listened to it, I was like, well, the debate is over. Shit, Wimmo he can't come after this. It was 2 different levels there. Cedric was on another level, and Jeremiah Judah was arguing as if he's arguing with a 6th grader, right? So let's keep it going here. Let's get back to it, family. Let's get back to it.
Right? Now look at this. So we already know he has an agenda, because every time you say you're a black man and you involved in this, he says pseudo, but he will yet tear down these white scholars that's trying to tear us down. That's why I'm here. Let's keep it moving. The Americans in 1492, in fact, many Russians have questioned the validity of Columbus' accounts. You better be showing us valid goddamn diaries. You better be showing us navigational tools.
1 minute, JJ, 1 minute.
That's what you better be doing. Don't try to get in front of.
Y'all see how he starts kicking the can? You got to show some navigational tools and all this other stuff, but he never read the whole thing. He never read all of it. Right? This is called Squid Game scholarship. That's all this shit is, the Squid Games. That's it. Nothing more. There's nothing more. Let's keep it going.
Me trying to tell me what I need to do. I'm going to do my job. But ladies and gentlemen, ask yourself today, is Cedric Ortega going to do his job? Is he going to prove that Christopher Columbus, matter of fact, this ain't even really the topic. You can't even prove he existed. They got him buried in 3 different places. Where's his authentic handwriting? Huh? So the research question is, what is the genetic legacy of the EM2 in the Americas before Columbus? And we're going to keep it going. He said, my time is all up. But how?
Let's look at this real quick. Research questions. So you using research. Where did you pull this from? You said you was giving us a thesis. You haven't gave us a thesis your entire opening. It's just a bunch of randomness. That's it. Nigga, do you even know what a thesis is? It's just been bait and switching all throughout your opening. Look at this. What is the genetic legacy of EM2 in the Americas before Columbus? Did you prove that? No. What is the implications of the presence of EM2 in the Americas for our understanding of the peopling of America? Did you prove EM2? No. What are the limitations and challenges of using genetic data to study the peopling of the Americas? Did you do that? No. How has pseudoscientific racism and the Columbus myth influenced the study of the peopling of the Americas? Well, you know what? I disagree with a lot of the things the pseudo killers teach from time to time. But one thing they do not deal with is what we call pseudoscientific racism. They don't deal with it. They challenge it. Every show I've listened to, they are challenging it. They're challenging the standards of scientific racism. They do that. I'm telling you, they do it. People just get mad because they don't sit up there and blackology everything black, everything black, everything black, 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 blacky, 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 blacky. That's what y'all get mad about. That's it. I know Sean P and them, they got some beef going on. That's none of my concern. Right? I understand it. You know, it just happens in this community from time to time. But what I'm telling y'all is they don't support scientific racism. That's a straw man. That is a classic straw man. When nigga you reading Ivan Van Sertima, who used European scholars for his book. They came here before Columbus.
And you want to know what I think? What up, y'all? Peace.
What up, Savio?
And that was an easy body for you last night, said. That was an
Sunday night.
Body.
Sunday night.
Yeah, Sunday night, my fault. The other night, my fault. But yeah, that was an easy body for you.
Shout out to Sean and Masiwara clan. Go in his archive and watch Sean put that work from Ivan Van Sertima to rest at the highest level of scholarly, sourced up, everything vetted. Is the most beautiful work you can see. You want to learn something? Go check out that video in the archive from the Masiwara clan. Shout out to Sean.
Well, how about this? We do this right quick. Let's go to the Q&A. You want to go to the Q&A, said real quick? Because that was my favorite part of this debate.
The Q&A is hilarious.
Let's go to that Q&A right quick. Go ahead, Savio.
You want to know what's overlooked, I think, by a lot of people that use that information is that those white scholars, this was during the height and the beginning of this thing called scientific racism.
Yeah.
So they were solidifying their claims of African American or black inferiority using these writings. Mm-hmm. So the African or black scholars who used them were trying to counteract that idea.
Yep.
But this was at the height of scientific racism. So if you're going to use a scholar from that time who's using those racist scholars, that means you're going to have to do a lot more fact checking than you're allowing yourself to in order to present a coherent argument.
Yeah, let's very good, Sabio. Now watch this. We're gonna go to this Q&A, but before we go, let's listen to a little bit. Remember, Cedric showed 0 sources. That's what he claimed. Let's look at it right here. And once again, I want to show y'all that he was sitting up there trying to prove black people were here. He was not arguing Christopher Columbus never arrived here in the Americas. He wasn't arguing that. He was trying to argue black people were here. Right? So that lets me know he changed the name of this debate. That's what he did, because he was trying to, like I said again, I'm going to keep repeating this. He was trying to change how I was doing things over here.
You know what? He just called me too on Facebook Messenger, and I told him that I didn't know if the debate was about if Columbus made it to the Americas or if Africans was in the Americas.
Thank you. What is this about here? Right? What are we arguing here? That's why I asked him, who was the affirmative, who was the positive, who was the negative, and who was the affirmative? Simple. Okay, let's go.
Pseudo-scientific racism and the Columbus myth influenced the study of the people in America.
Illiteracy.
Let's go here.
Straight and embarrassing.
I've been chat.
Now watch it.
And if you can, do that for me, so that
in his opening.
That way, when I go out, you'll be in control.
I got
you. All right, Cedric, your screen is sharing, my brother.
Okay, it is absolutely laughable that JJ 7000 claimed we cannot prove Columbus was in the Americas. This demonstrates an embarrassing ignorance of primary source methodology, historical documentation, and basic research skills. The sheer volume of direct primary evidence for Columbus's voyages is overwhelming and undisputable, unless, of course, you subscribe to a level of historical illiteracy that rejects all documented history.
Pause right there. Debate over. He's already proved it. So let's look here. Oh, wow. Cedric didn't show any primary sources, guys. That's what he was arguing the whole time. Look, primary source documentation. We have first-hand accounts, including Columbus' own journal, Diario de Bordeaux, Journal of the First Voyage, written between 1492 and 1493. Bartolomé de las Casas later transcribed it, but fragments of Columbus' original writings survive. These documents are housed in Spain's Archivo General de Indias in Seville, along with letters written by Columbus himself to the Spanish crown. These are direct, unfiltered records from the man himself, unless JJ 7000 wants to argue that Columbus somehow fabricated his voyages while securing funding from the Spanish monarchy. Well, maybe that's why they believe in Jesus.
Hey, MVP, really quick before you keep going.
Yeah.
I wanted to just point out to the audience, I don't know if y'all have seen it in JJ's methodology, but since he's, I guess, not claiming to be a Israelite anymore, or whatever his belief system was, that same methodology that people used to use to beat him up, now he's trying to use it on Cedric. Oh, they only got fragments. So how do you know that that's the real truth? How do you know that's what he said? I'm like, wait a minute. You've been getting beat up with that for 20 years and was defending Jesus. What are we talking about right now? It's like the straw man's, the appealing to authority, the begging the question, the moving the goalpost. You just...
No doubt. Okay, so let's get right back to it. Now watch this. Let's go right here. Okay.
Primary source documentation. We have first-hand accounts, including Columbus' own journals, Diario de Bordo, Journal of the First Voyage, written between 1492 and 1493. Bartolomé de las Casas later transcribed it, but fragments of Columbus' original writing survive. The documents are housed.
I love looking at body language. You see how he typing fast on that phone now? See how he done got nervous now. He's showing primary accounts. I thought you said he didn't bring forth any primary documents, any primary sources. He's right here doing it, JJ. But you wanted to go over these rounds, and I kept saying, I don't want to do that. I want to deal with these sources. But you knew you couldn't back those sources up. You know you couldn't vet those sources. So you wanted to come on here and complain about a judge rendering. When I brought ethics into it, you started getting mad, wanting to fight me. I just remove your ass. Bye. Who needs you?
Oh, he was over here earlier?
Yeah, he was over here for about 45 minutes, nutting up.
Oh,
yeah,
no wonder why he's still mad.
Even though he invited me, Chris, for him not to do the hostile escape, I would have still stayed off and let him do his thing.
Yeah, that's why I sat up there and said, when I told him I don't want to do that because Cedric is not here. But he insisted. And I said, fine, we'll go over there. Then he called when y'all heard me on the phone. I'm in there arguing like, dog, I'm trying to help you here. I'm trying to show you how to do sources properly.
Yo,
so I can show you where your ethics is off.
I was trying to help him, Chris. I was trying to help him get his strengthen his argument. But he got so defensive with me that he wanted me to go on his show and try to show him all Cedric sources, like I copy Cedric sources.
Yeah, do your catchphrase for everybody about JJ. Somebody said do your catchphrase. That's what?
Who?
Somebody
JJ?
said do your catchphrase. Somebody look at the screen.
That's horrible.
That's horrible.
That's horrible.
Horrible, bro. That's horrible.
Y'all stupid.
That's horrible. Like mine is, yo, that's easy. This is easy. Look, so far, horrible. Everything we've seen so far, Cedric has sourced himself, right?
Right. And JJ was just horrible.
Rambling. Just horrible. Let's go to the next one. Let's keep going. All right. So here it is right here. More sources, independent corroboration. Other crew members also documented the voyages, such as Diego Alvarez Shanca, who wrote medical reports on the expedition. We also have official Spanish Crown documents acknowledging Columbus's discoveries, rewards, and governance. These are just not vague mentions, but extensive, detailed records spanning multiple sources. Physical evidence. He said you got to show ships and physical evidence. That's what he demanded. Cedric did it. Columbus established settlements including La Navidad on Hispaniola in 1492. Archaeological findings confirm European presence in the Americas at precisely this time. The Spanish even returned in subsequent voyages to find these settlements abandoned or in conflict. This isn't speculation. It's confirmed by material evidence and written record. So here he is, more source material, JJ. So now we can just sit up there and deem you unethical in the debate. You'll do anything to win. Just saying he's not showing sources doesn't mean he didn't do it. All right. Okay, let's keep going here. All right. I don't have to listen to it. Now he goes into JJ 7000. He gives inference into some more of JJ 7000 rhetoric right here by saying JJ 7000's claim is just not ignorance. It's outright ridiculous. It reveals a fundamental misunderstanding of how historical verification works. If he wants to dispute Columbus' presence, he needs to explain why multiple independent sources, government records, eyewitness accounts, and physical findings all align. Well, why was anybody saying Cedric did not do that? He did it already. He's doing it. He already did it. Primary accounts. See, what Lions Den monkeys like to do is they like to try and sit there and have double affirmative debates. You can't do that. If you're saying Africans were here, JJ, Cedric is arguing that they weren't. But since you threw a curveball in there saying he got to prove Columbus was here, he already did. You got to debunk the archaeological record. You have to debunk the historical writings. You have to debunk that now. And just saying, there's disputes about the voyage. Yeah, but it doesn't mean that he didn't make it here. He got three different burial grounds. I never heard that, but okay. Your point, does that mean he did not make it over here? You believe in Jesus, nigga. He got 2 different birthdays in the Bible. And let's keep going here because I want to hurry up and go here. All right. Hard facts over feelings. This was my favorite slide. Once again, Cedric is providing argumentation right here. He's giving inference to his argument. The first confirmed African presence in the Americas dates to the early 16th century, primarily as a result of the transatlantic slave trade initiated by European powers. The initial Africans in the Americas were enslaved individuals brought by European colonizers. He gave a source, wikipedia.org, when the transatlantic slave trade commenced in the early 1500s. By 2008, data has been gathered by nearly 3,500 transatlantic slave voyages from 1501 to 1867. Source, wikipedia.org. He's put the hyperlinks in there. Right? Let's keep it going. All right? Certain things don't even need to be disputed. Pseudos dispute the consensus without any peer-reviewed journals to support anything that's been argued against. He didn't bring any of that.
That was a bomb you just threw. Pseudos
argue against the consensus.
Yeah, that was a bomb.
I'm the shit at this, but I believe if I would have been arguing this against Cedric, I would have lost on this day. All right. Okay. So let's keep it going. All right. Key sources. Cedric says David Edison, David Richardson, 2010, Atlas of the Transatlantic Slave Trade, Ira Berlin, 1998, Many Thousands Gone, The First 2 Centuries of Slavery in North America, Philip D. Curtin, 1969. JJ, you said he did not provide any sources. Why are you lying? Silent K, here's the proof right here. You don't have to call me arguing, talking about no goddamn old meg heads either, because I got some shit for you on that tomorrow that Sabio gave me 2 years ago.
Are you stupid?
I beat y'all up at this. I'll go bring Sabio, Sean P, Not a Coincidence, and the whole crew over here, the Buffalo Soldiers, and we'll beat them claims up that Olmecs are Africans without any material culture to support that nonsense. You don't have no African culture to support that nonsense. We come in with primaries, and you come in with the look at the noses. Okay, so those type of noses mean they're Africans. So now you're gonna deal with it. You want to use a stereotype? And get up out of here, bro.
Nah,
all right,
Chris, you know those was nappy-headed Mexicans. Quit playing.
Right. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Okay, more source material. Here it is right here. Reconstructed Native American population history. Tracing genetic history of the Caribbean. That's all Cedric did the entire debate. Seems like he's debating two things at once and doing a damn good job at it so far, family. I think we can concur on that. JJ 7000, why were you on here having a meltdown? Saying that he didn't show nothing. He been showing it the whole time. You can't convince me that he did. So with that being said, I've counted 9 slides. Let's go to yours right quick. Let's go to yours. Cedric, great job. I don't have to keep doing it. I know you did. Ankin, I'm gonna laugh you. Okay, let's look at this. Now we hear on this guy's stuff. Let's listen to it. Let's go.
Job is to prove that Christopher Columbus came to these Americas before Columbus. You sit up here arguing sources that I didn't even bring up.
Straw man argument. You keep on saying he's arguing sources that he didn't bring up, but if he's the affirmative in the debate and he's sitting up there showing primary accounts of the landing and archaeological evidence, the debate is over, and you are now using a straw man to argue your point. First slide, no sources. No sources. You need to learn how to do a PowerPoint presentation. It'll help it out visually a whole lot. Nothing. You got on here, no sources.
Now,
okay, JJ,
Yeah.
Mandinka, I stopped your time at 19 minutes and 46 seconds.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Listen, I stopped your time at 19 minutes and 40 seconds. Go to where it says.
How about that?
There you go. All right. That's a lot better. All right. Time to start when you're ready.
No sources.
All right, man. I'm sorry y'all had to sit through that 20 minutes of just rambling. I'm fake. My sources. Man, bro, you ain't did nothing, bro. You ain't talking.
Yes, he did. He showed primary sources, firsthand accounts, and archaeological data, and the place in which this archaeological data is housed. He gave it to you. Let's go here to your next slide.
That's what you call
some of the
hand waving.
reconstructing Columbus life.
Hand waving, yeah. What did Tahuti call it? Harry Potter. Harry Potter. But you tried to come over here and argue this, right? Now you got this girl Jenny Hayes in the building saying, "Debate my husband right now." Come up with a topic. And hold him responsible for the fact that he was saying Cedric Ortega did not show any primary sources. Your husband will never debate me. He's ran from me 3 times. It's right over there on Solar Vision Debate League. Your husband's an idiot. No, thank you. I'm not interested. You and your husband are idiots. As a matter of fact, let me block you, you tart. Okay, silly. All right, silly rabbit. Let's keep it going.
Voyages include, look at this, y'all. Limited sources. As mentioned earlier, there is no primary account from Columbus himself. Cedric, show it to us.
He showed you the primary account. Now you're begging the question. If I was a judge and we were doing this on points, 0.
I would hit him with all the fallacies.
I would have been like 0. He already showed you the points. He already showed you. See, this is why I didn't want to do this, JJ. So now I got to keep it real. You haven't proved anything. Even for anybody that was believing your smoke and mirror arguments, they don't anymore. They're like, yeah, man, you never showed one source. I just wanted to go into your sources. Limited sources. No, there are plenty of sources that proved he arrived here. Biased narratives. That's commentary. Anybody could say that.
And many of the secondary.
Let's keep going.
Hold up. Okay, yeah. Okay, like I said, there are no primary source for Columbus.
Okay, so now he's repeating himself. Lack of primary sources. You already showed this, right?
Hey, and if you notice his tone, he has like an emotional inflection. So the more he says it, if he says it 3 times, this is a communications tactic. If you say 3 things 3 times, you repeat it, it's more bound to stick in a person's mind.
Good point. But unfortunately, and then that's why I said when I heard one of the judges, I'm not going to name a name or anything. I'm like, no, Cedric did. He's the one not following the rules of the debate or engagement here. And he's unethical in the debate. I'm proving it right here.
Yourself that can be verified. How can we trust secondary sources that were written decades and centuries after Columbus voyages, y'all?
No, they were not written decades and centuries after Columbus voyage. They're written at the time of Columbus voyage. You have the queen answering him back. We have the primary accounts of that. Let's get to this Q&A. I mean, this is just stupidity all the way around here. This is when he just started. Oh, God. This was horrible. Look at this.
Yeah, his third round was bad. His third round was bad.
This was bad. Look what he said. They found African anchors discovered in the Caribbean waters, dated to 1200 to 1400 CE, matching Mali Empire designs. Where's this at in the museum if they discovered it?
Yeah, I asked him in the Q&A.
Hey, said you did. I don't know if you asked him the question that I don't think no one can ever answer. Where is African ship technology before the 1300s?
He didn't get that. I didn't ask him that one. I asked him where in which museum are these anchors housed? Man, you heard.
But see, they don't understand how idiotic this whole conversation or this whole idea of Africans being in the America actually is. Because if that's the case, that means Africans would have had the ability to sail across the ocean.
Yeah.
So that means they had ship technology.
In my opening, I debunked that Mali Empire didn't have no ship technology. There's no archaeological evidence. There's no technology. There's no evidence to support it. Neither linguistic, neither archaeological, neither genetic. Nothing. So at that point, he can't bring those arguments up again. He should have taken the affirmative and gone first. Now I'm catching up, and then I'm coming after him. What he did was put me in a position to completely disarm him. You saw how he stumbled over that sickle cell account in the first round, and then he tries to bring it back in the third round, although I debunked that in my opening.
Simple.
Yeah,
Simple.
he not know. Yeah, and that's the reason why if you actually learn history, you can formulate certain questions that'll leave people in these states to where now usually they don't know how to respond. So when you do, if you would have asked him that question, then the logical thing would have been what? Have they had the ship technology, the Africans wouldn't have got enslaved on the Western Central. In that part of Africa, they would have been able to do what? Use some of those ships to fight back and sail away.
Exactly.
I wanted to come here. I wanted to go right here where everybody sees it at. This nigga put up a DNA chart post-Columbian, right? Of European
that was in the
admixture.
questioning?
No, this was in his presentation.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
And it says right here, he put right here, it says right here, too, African of admixture intensified, transatlantic slave trade brought millions of
like what is wrong with you? Like, bro, do you know you just punched yourself in the face? Are you witnessing or are you witnessing the own abuse you just did to your argument? Like you just abused your own argument and you finna keep going.
Look at my face. 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 I'm like,
yo, nah, for real, Chris, you laughing. When I seen you hey, I think I actually left the channel for a second when he did. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tune back.
Yo, look how look at my face. Look how I have my hands under my chin. Like, what the?
He don't even know he daggered himself.
Man, he punched himself all in the face.
Oh man, look at what it says. Contributed additional 10 to 20% of African DNA in modern Americas. African admixture intensify. Transatlantic slave trade brought millions of Africans. Why are you using this? It says the RM269 European admixture arrived after the 1492 VI via 1492 via I can't say the word today, colonialization. You just proved Christopher Columbus came here in 1492, dumb dumb. You just proved it for Cedric. I have to question the intelligence of those who thought you won this now.
You and me both, because he said some people actually thought he won the debate.
Man, we're not going to talk about the judges. It's right here.
Oh wow!
See,
Them
when
niggas is
I'm
just as
debating,
dumb as JJ.
look at Cedric's face. Look at Cedric's face. Look, I wish I can enlarge this, Cedric. I really wish I do. This is classic.
Post-Columbian RM269 European.
This is when he starts speaking real fast, y'all, because he ain't got no more real estate.
Admixture arrived around 1492. Contained 5 to 10% modern American DNA. Highest in Central America. 10% European DNA. South America 8%. Where's your numbers?
Dummy, you just proved European admixture after the 1492 via colonialization. It's right there.
How you debate yourself and prove yourself wrong at the same time, Chris?
It's right there.
Huh? Hey, can somebody explain to me who think JJ 7000 won the debate? How did he debate himself and prove himself wrong with his own source?
Bro, I wanna stop it right there. Hey, Cedric, I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna post this on my page and I'm gonna put a vote up. Right? JJ proved Columbus came here in 1492. After he said that they did, it's right there. It's right there. I don't need to go to have a Q&A. It's right here.
Can somebody answer that for me? I'm really trying to figure out how did he debate himself and lose to himself.
I would not have a clue. I can't answer that question, Sabio. Stop abusing me. I'm not that. Now my head is. How? Do you see the expression I have on the platform? Look, I'm dumbfounded. I'm like, what the hell is this nigga doing?
I was too. Hey, I honestly think when he showed that source, I think I clicked off the show and waited till your round came back up because I was like, I'm not finna look. Did this dude just punch himself? I like this dude is stupid. You know what? I'm done. Hold on. I will be back.
Okay, so watch this. Okay, so look at it says before Columbus arrived, the sickle cell gene was present in Brazil, specifically in Salvador, Bahia, where Africans from Western Africa, mainly the Bay of Benin region, had settled. Mesoamerica, medieval Mexico had contact with African traders from Mali, known as the Mandingo traders, who brought their culture and possibly their genetics as the Mandingo traders. Okay. Caribbean, implied by African. Okay, first of all, all of this is irrelevant. You're talking about the Americas. Brazil and the Caribbean is not the Americas, bro.
It's South America.
It's South America. Why are you talking about? I'm not understanding this here.
Nothing there is sourced. Nothing.
And none of this is sourced. Once again, you want to go over this.
I'm gonna tell y'all why it wasn't sourced, because those sources would show that those Africans were bought by earlier settlers that were selling before Columbus. Columbus wasn't the first one.
Hey, MVP, I think you're getting dangerously close to that part where after Cedric had just destroyed every source that JJ was going to try to bring up, and he was like, nah, I'm finna show you my source. He showed him, and it was literally the author of, I guess, whatever source he pulled it from, and it was just the author answering his own questions underneath, like, see, he proved it right here. I'm like, bro, you got to be joking me right now, dog. You have to be kidding me, bro. You cannot, like, you can't have somebody asking themselves a question and answering it, and that be your, like, appeal to, like, I guess, like, righteousness. Oh no,
it's just. Oh, you talking about this? You talking about this Q&A right here?
Yes. Yes. Yes, this part right here. Oh, bro.
Who does that? I was embarrassed for JJ. I was literally embarrassed for JJ. You see, I left the screen. You see, I put the screen off because I was embarrassed. At this point, I was embarrassed. I'm like, oh my God, he's not doing this. Like, bro, like you're posting a discussion, an AI discussion.
A
He said
discussion.
that's his
Yo,
source. That's his source.
that was his source. What do you mean?
That's not a source.
This is what he used.
He won the debate, according to my guess. I don't know.
I turned my screen off literally because I was too embarrassed for JJ. You know when you're embarrassed for your opponent?
It's cringy when it become real cringy. You
Yeah,
like, oh,
cringy.
God,
It was like, oh, damn.
you like, bro, do you even know what you doing?
Wow.
Like I said, this is why I just don't want to debate him because it's just a waste of time. He full of tomfoolery. Then debate me then. With your Hulkamania scholarship, your Ultimate Warrior scholarship, with your goofy ass scholarship. Go shut this shit down.
And one of the things that was so sad to me is when Cedric was describing how the indigenous Americans DNA came to take place. I seen somebody put in the chat and they put it up on the screen. Hey, Cedric, can you source where it shows that they crossed over the Bering Land Bridge? And I'm like, bro, oh my God, dog. Like, why do we just keep going further and further back? Like, that is moving the goalpost to an infinite degree. Like, what is real then? What is true?
I was told that I didn't establish Columbus being here because when I indicated Navidad and that it's an actual archaeological site, I needed to pull the source and read what happened and how the people died, and I needed to read Columbus's diary because that's how you establish that Columbus. What? Know that we're debating. These are the sources. This is how we know these are primary accounts. That's it. I don't need to do a 5th grade history lesson.
Exactly. And my last point before MVP go on. Now I'm not gonna bring up the judge name either. But when the judge was like, you know, this may be public knowledge to you, Cedric, but it's a lot of people that might not know this. And I'm
you're a judge.
That's the problem. That's our problem right now.
You're a judge. How come you don't know?
That was you want to talk about cringe. I was like, well, why are you a judge then? How did you get here?
Consensus. Yeah, but not everyone understands what it is. You're a judge. Don't you understand that once consensus is established, I no longer have to argue that position? Then I'm comfortable in dismantling his position. He then, if he don't agree with the consensus, would have to undermine it, which I suggested that he has to do, and the parameters which it need to be done in. You would have to disprove the Queen's letters. You would have to disprove the letters to his family. You would have to disprove the letters that his colleagues wrote. This is your job.
You can't just say, you can't come in there talking about, it ain't real. That's not how you debate. And sometimes when you lose, you just lose. Look, I heard it's a way to diffuse the sting. You know what? I learned a lot today. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I need to relook over some things, and maybe I need to move on from it. But as you can see, JJ, me and you just ain't a good mix, homie. I ain't really got to go into much else because, like I said, you a whole pseudo out here. You dying at your own sources. You even posting AI conversations as primary sources and talking about you want to go over the first round like you just delivered some devastating information. Cedric, he cut you up in this opening. He knew everywhere you was going to go. You act like we don't go live on these channels every day talking about you pseudo motherfuckers. And then when you get beat up in a debate, you want to go all around YouTube telling everybody you won. Really a look at me now festival. Look at me now tour. I debated Cedric, and I lost. And when people go back to look at it, like, let me see what you're talking about. Oh man, this dude don't know what he talking about. He posting AI chats. Stop it.
What? But you know what? One thing that kind of annoys me about these debate circles and the way that they're judged is theatrics and charisma and joking can be taken more seriously than the actual information presented.
Thank you.
And that right there shows me a level of where the actual audience and the judges place their intelligence.
Yeah, you
Because
gotta have
if
some
you're
good
looking,
judges up there to listen
if
to
you're
them.
looking for jokes and how theatrical a person can be, and not how accurate and his information is, their information is, then why are you judging the debate? What are you listening for? Go to a comedy show. Like,
Simple. Let's listen to this Q&A real quick, and we're gonna get ready to wrap this thing on up. This is where it got funny at.
I'm about to leave out. This is my cue to leave, y'all.
All right, peace out. We're gonna see you on the after show.
All right.
Don't nobody need to hear your mouth ratchet.
My first question, Cedric. I'm ready.
You got a super wave?
I got you.
All right, peace to y'all.
All right, you got the clock. You got the clock up. All right, Cedric. What's the name of Columbus Diary?
Diario de a bordo.
Can you prove that that's authentic?
Yes, it is in the museum. It is in the Archivio de las Indias in India. It is in the Indias in Seville, Spain. There's a fragment and remnants of it, but it was transcribed prior to it being destroyed. There's literal fragments of it. Not to mention the fact.
Okay, that's enough. This is
what we call primary.
No, that's enough. G said that's enough. Are there any inconsistencies in the Columbus Diary?
What inconsistency are you talking about? The fact that the diary.
No, you don't ask the question.
Doesn't exist when you established in the Americas. So there might be inconsistencies, but you would have to elaborate.
Hold on, let him clarify. Go ahead, Uncle JJ.
Yeah, man. Now, there are inconsistencies in the Columbus Diary, but you say they're not, so I'm gonna prove that wrong. What is the letter?
It's not your time to prove anything. It's time for you to ask questions. Fallacy.
What is the letter of the sovereigns?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
The letter of the sovereigns is a document written by Columbus. Supposedly it's 1493. But we also know that is not real. So
Columbus didn't write the document. You're claiming.
Where can we find this document?
What are you
Where
claiming?
can we find this document?
You're making the claim.
This is a straw man about a claim that has no association with the debate now.
He brought it up. He brought it up to try to prove that Cedric didn't know about the document. And now he's going to try to prove that Columbus didn't write the document to try to prove that Columbus didn't write anything.
Right.
That's his whole angle.
These Hebrew Israelite are angles and stuff like that. That's all it is. It absolutely makes no sense. The fact that they have fragmentary writings of his original journal, and the fact that also that it was transcribed proves that it was real. Hey, we can accept fragmentary writings in Egypt, Nubia, Ethiopia, in parchments of the Bible, and we can accept those as authentic writings. But now when it comes to this, he don't want to accept it. Man, get out of here. You dead already.
If you claim that Columbus write the document, you're providing us with yet more substantiation.
Where can we find the document? This ain't how you buy it. You tell them to be quiet during the time. You don't ask me questions, Cedric.
He is not asking you any questions.
Now, as you can see, what is the Toscanelli map? What's that, sir?
I don't know, JJ.
Okay, with this map, it's allegedly sent to Columbus by the Italian cartographer Poco Toscanelli.
Cartographer?
Tried to say He tried to say cartographer.
Cartographer. You could tell these questions came from ChatGPT too.
He doesn't know how to speak. He doesn't know how to talk, man. It's crazy, man. All right, man. All right, listen, guys. This is horrible. So now he's asking Cedric a lot of loaded questions that have nothing to do with the debate, right? Because what pseudo will do is ask you a question like, I'm gonna say, what is A? Because he knows it's not associated with the debate. I'm not sure. Okay, so how can you prove that he went if you don't know what A is? Harry Potter. That's all he's doing. Simple. What is A? I don't know anything about that. Okay, so how can you know anything about the debate? Harry Potter. Simple.
Supposedly showed him this route. See, so if you can't even
when you say you don't know, he can now lie and dictate the parameters of the Q&A. You see what I'm saying?
Of the next conversation, bingo.
Right.
Bingo.
That's all they
the
do.
Other thing, Chris, that's key. When you say you don't know, now they can dictate the parameters of the next exchange.
Right. So when you're talking to them, the correct way to ask this is, can you explain what that is and what that has to do with the debate?
But
And then if he says, I'm asking you, just say, can you explain to me what that is and what is the point of that in this debate?
Isn't what he's doing right there? Isn't that like another fallacy, like an appeal to absence, or I don't remember the exact terminology, but
it's like an argument. I think it's a form of a argument from ignorance or an argument from silence. I can't remember what it's called, Cedric. What is that called?
The argument from silence.
Argument from silence.
Yeah, it's not there, so it ain't real.
Yep. Let's keep going. Black to Egypt TV said, bro saying words he never heard before.
Prove none of this. I'm gonna keep it questions. Can you prove Columbus route to America?
What?
It's documented.
It's documented.
Okay, next question. All right. What is the Capitulations of Santa Fe?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, the Capitulations of Santa Fe is a document that outlines the agreement between Columbus and the Spanish monarchs. You're supposed to be, listen, be quiet. You're supposed to be providing evidence, but it's not authentic. Bro.
Yeah, Uncle said, relax.
Hey, John, just pay attention to this. Pay attention to this.
See what I'm saying? Harry Potter. He'll ask a question about something that Cedric might not know about. Right? What is this? I don't know. Well, that's the correspondence between him and the Spanish monarchs. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You just proved Cedric's point then. What's the correlation about that? I would have wrote that down right there. I would have wrote that question down right there, Cedric. Let me teach you a little trick here. I would have memorized that question and I would have went right back to it. Can you show me the correlation between what you asked me in the debate, please? I would have asked him right there, and I would have just had him fumbling all over the place because you could tell he don't know the type of questions to ask pertaining to this debate. You can clearly hear that.
Nope.
He's trying to see what you know versus what you don't know. You see what I'm saying? That's what he's doing. He's testing the water. Next time, just sit up there and say, "Can you explain me the correlation and why you're asking me this?"
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you got to do. I'm not understanding the correlation.
Yeah.
It's how I act during my time when it's time for me to answer. All right. Now, so he don't even know what he. So look at this. Okay. All right. Hold up. You want more Columbus?
His brain going 15 different ways.
Is there any evidence that that there is a Columbus map? Is it authentic?
I wouldn't know why there would need to be a Columbus map.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. There's no conclusive evidence of this Columbus map, but we'll keep going. Why is Columbus buried in 3 different places?
That would you assume. I would never think someone is buried in 3 different places.
Okay, well,
I would have no idea why you would claim that.
Yeah, I didn't know you could be buried in 3 different places. What about you guys? Good answer. I didn't know you could be buried in 3 different places. He said, why is he buried in 3 different places?
How?
You're reading up. Listen to how he contradicted himself in his Q&A. First, he gave inference to Columbus writing the correspondence to the Spanish monarchs. Then he's trying to give inference that Columbus didn't exist by insinuating that he's buried in 3 different places. You're an idiot. And this is how I know you don't know, as we say, you just made all that shit up. You do not know what you're talking about.
None, not a clue.
This is straight tomfoolery. I'm putting the old picture back up there. Tomfoolery. You're making a fool of yourself right now. A straight fool.
He doesn't understand the terms pre and post Columbia.
He don't understand the terms to a debate, let alone that.
Because I keep using the term pre Columbia. He expects me to prove Columbus's DNA in the Americas before he got there, because he doesn't understand that that marks an error.
That's it. Let's keep going.
I'm claiming it. No. Okay, so now I got to educate the audience. The Cathedral of Seville has them in Spain. They got them over in Havana in Cuba, and they got them in San Domingo, in the San Domingo Cathedral in the Dominican Republic. So let me ask you this. Did they split his body up in 3?
Again, you're making a claim.
Okay.
I wouldn't make no suggestion. So I
thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
And not to mention that these questions are very immature and not well thought out. And I could tell he's asking questions based on GPT.
Did you prove that there was conclusive evidence that Christopher Columbus came to the Americas before Africans in this debate?
I think you did. We established, first of all, what a primary source is, which is Columbus's diary, which you made reference to yourself. I indicated where it is, it was transcribed. We have evidence from people on the ship, the medical doctor, Albert, who documented the expedition. This is first time. You referenced just now the documents.
Okay, thank you, sir. That's good enough. That's good enough.
And Columbus. These are first time accounts. All this.
Hey,
he just daggered him right there, said. Good job. Double dagger.
Wavy, bro. Bro, that's good enough. All right. So where is this authentic document located, Cedric?
Which one of the documents?
He already answered the question. He told you what what museum it was located at. So now you're begging the question.
Documents.
Give me a location.
Which one of the documents?
Okay, let's skip that one.
What an idiot! What an idiot! Yo, let's skip that one. You like which document? Wait a minute. Why are you asking for documents if he don't exist? Why would you reference a document to the Spanish monarchy and then call it into question? You said they existed. Bro, this is bad.
Bad.
JJ, quit debating.
He said it out there. Okay. All right. Did you in this debate prove that the Columbus haplogroup was here before 1492?
This question is indicative of your utter ignorance.
Okay, that's enough. He's going to answer this. Are you going to answer?
I'm answering your question. So
okay, that was it. Okay.
There would be no way.
This is called I don't want to engage my opponent nor listen to his answer. I want to try and ask him trapdoor questions. And whenever they're not working, really, he's getting frustrated, not Cedric. Nope. He's getting frustrated because these tactics aren't working. It's evident. So guys, it was nothing but just bullshit. Like Cedric said, a bunch of ignorance, right? I like to call it the jurisprudence of ignorance. Okay. He could volume 1, right? So let's go here. Let's go to a real Q&A. Let's listen to Cedric tear him down. Watch this.
Begin. Right, we're gonna start when you're ready.
Okay, JJ. I'm going to start with your last question. How would you expect to find European genetics before Columbus came to the Americas? Prior to Columbus coming to the Americas, there was no new and old world contact. So how would you expect for there to be a shred of evidence for something that would not exist?
Okay, thank you. All right. So, am I still on? You hear me? Let's see.
Ooh. Rumble, young man, rumble. My goodness. Rumble, young man, rumble. He don't know how to answer that. He don't know. He like, what?
What?
You're in there showing him you presented it. You went right back into his work so he can die on his own sword, pull a Absalom. I mean, just die on his own sword. Watch this.
You still hear me? Listen.
We hear you.
All right, I want to turn my camera on. Hold up. All right. So
stalling. Your camera been on, nigga. Stop it. Stop. Stop.
And you see, I'm letting them answer.
What'd you say, Sid?
You see, I'm letting them answer. I'm not cutting them off.
You ain't saying nothing.
Not a word.
It's a big question, JJ. You wanted to go over the debate. You want to take this all around the world and tell lies on yourself, daggering yourself. Well, let's listen to the dagger.
We find out dates and times. It's called geochemical analysis, radiocarbon dating. Stop.
You're trying to answer the question.
He don't want to get into it, y'all.
So I'm going to reiterate my question.
Reiterate, sir.
European genetics arrive in the Americas at the point that Europeans arrive. You are asking us to present Europeans prior to Europeans you're asking us to present European genetics prior to the European genetics being in the Americas. How is that even a relevant question?
Okay, so the narrative, ladies and gentlemen, okay, let me rephrase it right. The narrative is did Europeans come to the America or Columbus?
He lost on that. That's like a 1-2, a backhand hook with a 3 rolling out, going back under. Like he
a 6-piece.
What type of smoke and mirror argument can I use to get out of this one? Man, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. Just say it.
Yeah, man. My dad always.
So again, okay, thank you. That means. Stop. It's my time to ask the question.
Right. So it's been 2 minutes and he hasn't given a clear answer.
Nope.
And Cedric has the right to say, "Hold on, stop. I didn't ask you that. You trying to use big words that you don't understand, right? Stalling. That's all he was doing right there. He was stalling."
Yep.
You don't want that answer.
Say that again.
Yep, that's exactly what he's doing. Look, he hasn't answered the question, and it's one question I asked him. A minute and a half.
We had 8 minutes and 27 seconds. Let's keep going.
What I just illustrated is the ignorance in even asking that question, because you wouldn't be able to have European genetics prior to Columbus, because it's pre and post Columbus. Now, JJ.
Ooh, woo, woo, woo. Rumble, yumble, man. Rumble, young man, rumble. You wouldn't have it. How did it get there? Dummy. Let's keep it going.
Can you point us or indicate to us in which museum we can find artifacts like the anchor you're speaking about?
Okay. No, I haven't researched the anchors, but I have researched like they do have in a museum. I didn't look that up as part of my debate.
Stop. So you made stop. Okay, thank you very much. So you made a claim about.
But I have researched.
I would hear that again.
Indicate to us in which museum we can find artifacts like the anchor.
Y'all see how being quiet and patient and poised always look better than flailing all over the place? Usually when somebody's flailing all over a place during debate or just a normal discussion means they're lying or they don't know what they're talking about. Sort of like Silent K sending me pictures of old kids talking about those Africans.
You're speaking about?
Okay. No, I haven't researched the anchors, but I have researched like they do have in a museum. I didn't look that up as part of my debate.
Stop. So you made stop. Okay, thank you very much. So you made a claim about anchors, and you actually have no evidence for where these anchors located, which I indicated during my debate that these are fabricated sources. Did
you ask the question, sir, or you just keep talking?
Don't get mad now, because he's now going back to his opening round and he's reasserting what he put in his opening round, the antithesis that he was going to be explaining, that you guys don't have any artifacts, and you brought it up and you can't prove it. No, you can't tell him what to say, because he never interviewed while you were sitting up there and giving these fake synopsis over these dumbass questions you was asking. What size shoe did Christopher Columbus wear? Dummy. You drunk lizard.
Shush, it's my time. So I'm doing what I want for my
No, you
time.
gotta ask questions.
JJ, don't interrupt him. It's his time.
So we've established that there's no credible evidence for that either. You made a claim about yams.
Right there, though, Cedric, I would have said, well, since we can't establish that there are no anchors and we don't have any archaeological claims, and which they said in your presentation they found it, then how did they anchor the boat? I would have just played with him for the entire time right there, just beat him up. Where did they anchor that boat at? What port was it anchored at, JJ? Where do you get your proof of that at? Where's the ship porting record at? Where's the port record at of that? I'd have just been beating him up from that point on. But let's keep going. Next, just remember that next time. Play with that. Step on their neck a little bit more right there. A pseudo can't handle that type of question, because then he gonna melt down. Always make him crash out right there.
Food. Now, we've totally dismantled that claim. How do you stand behind the claim of yams when we know by genetic evidence that which yams are indigenous to the Americas and when West African yams were brought to the Americas?
He a trade. Good point, Sid.
So how do you continuously make that claim?
Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, during this debate, I mentioned food, coins, textiles. I never, if you go back and retry, I never specifically in this debate said anything about yams. Once again, he's stating that I have to mention.
In his opening slides, opening slides, you can clearly see the food source he was referencing was yams.
Exactly. It was right there. Then he wants, instead of answering Cedric's question, he makes an appeal to the audience. That's an appeal to emotion fallacy right there. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, I never reference yams. I never reference arrow tips. I said spears. Same damn thing.
You realize that he has no...
JJ, you ain't nothing but a wet duck.
Evidence for the yams. Now he's running away from that claim, which was actually presented. Now, JJ, you're making claims of African clothing and material in the Americas, yet you present us with no evidence for how this transoceanic voyage could have been made. Present us with some actual evidence, archaeological evidence, and the source where we can find of the means by which this transatlantic slave voyage was made.
Okay. All right.
Oh, shit. Woo. Shit. He like, I can't get out of this. He like, I probably should just let Unc and Sirius be and Juju and them touch. I was dropped on my head as a child, as y'all can hear. You a dry piece of salmon, nigga. Get on out of here. You cooked. You're done. You're done. This is what he wanted to go over, though. I hope you listening, Silent K. You was defending this nonsense.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Cedric. You put him on the stand, bro.
He on the pseudo witness stand right now. I pseudo claim the pseudo, all but the pseudo, and everything but the pseudo. So pseudo help me pseudo. You're done.
Can I share my screen, or are you just going to cut me up before I share my screen?
No, you don't need to share your screen.
Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to answer the best I can. See what he's
trying to create a bandwagon fallacy again, as you guys can hear, instead of just answering the question. No, you can't, because he paid attention to your slides. You never showed us any migrational patterns in which you said that you were going to show, and you didn't show it.
He don't want to let me talk. So I can't even share my screen to ask his question, right? But through the Canary Currents, there's possibilities of them following
Stop. I didn't ask you for a possibility. I asked you for archaeological evidence of the means by which this transaction.
He said possibility of the Canary Currents. A possibility is not evidence.
Also, can we just focus on the fact that this fully adult grown man was sounding like a damn baby right there? He won't let me show my slides, but I'm gonna try to explain it anyway, bro. Come on, dog.
I will hurt, ladies and gentlemen. He won't let me talk. You a muddy goat, nigga. Go and sit down somewhere, man.
Oh God, this man is hilarious, bro.
This transoceanic voyage could have been made. So then yet again, you start on some non sequitur which doesn't support your arguments. You made the claim and double down after I demonstrated by peer-reviewed sources how Ivan van Sertima was debunked. He himself made it clear that his whole work was based on speculation. Why would you lie?
I don't know why people don't read that, Cedric. That Ivan van Sertima said it was all based on speculation.
They don't read. To the people still and tell them that his work has never been debunked or refuted.
Silence.
Why AJ?
You gotta.
He trying to play victim now. So you see pseudos do this many times. Tell him, Cedric, we've been doing this a long time. Sabio, Cedric, we've been doing this a long time, right?
Yeah. Appeal to emotion is gonna come now.
Yep. Watch this.
You gotta unmute your mic, Uncle JJ. You gotta unmute your mic. Uncle JJ, we can't hear you. You gotta unmute your mic.
JJ.
No, these are diversion tactics. Why did he mute his mic in the first place? Judge, moderator, reset my time, please. I want him to answer this question. Thank you.
Because he couldn't show his slides, man. His feelings was hurt.
Oh, sorry. Okay, now I can pull up my phone and show you Ivan van Sertima, Nuku Rashidi have been challenged.
Stop. Okay, good.
Strawmans.
Yep.
Non sequiturs. He asked you for evidence. You talking about Runoko Rashidi and Ivan van Sertima. Were they alive in 1492? No. It's a non sequitur.
No, I asked him after I showed you with peer-reviewed sources that van Sertima has been both debunked and refuted. Why do you double down and tell the people that he wasn't? Why do you lie to the people? And that's what he comes back with.
Thank you for the clarification.
And I'm pretty sure he said he got GPT.
Right. But the thing is, he doesn't want to accept it because this means his premise has been destroyed.
Yep.
It's dissolved. There's nowhere. His argument he's been out of room. His argument ran out of real estate in the first round when Cedric opened up.
Yep.
Cedric followed everything he said he was going to do in his opening. The framing was beautiful because I frame my arguments like that. Everywhere you're going to go, I'm going to meet you there.
Yep. In the people's time. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I do not need you to insist on lying. Everybody saw clearly, right, that he has been refuted and debunked by peer-reviewed academic work and by multiple sources. It was clear on the screen for everyone to see. Where you admitted you do not care what I say. So do not make that virgin claim. That is completely dishonest. You're intellectually dishonest. Now, you present your work in such a ridiculous fashion by presenting these sources, Bartoli, as if his work has been confirmed. Do you, can you provide us with a peer review source for his work?
Yes, I can provide that. But
not the sources.
How do you ask me to provide it and you cut me off?
Stop, because I know you're lying. We just need you on record. You
Hey,
just
come on,
need-
hey, come
Hey,
on.
hold on.
we just needed you on record having committed a lie, because what you presented was the claims he made, and in your own presentation it stated clearly that his methodology is flawed and his work is not peer reviewed. In my opening, I addressed the fact that you are disqualified from doing such. Why did you insist on still bringing a claim that is unsupported by peer review work? Why would you be disingenuous in this debate? That's my question to you.
You gotta unmute your mic, Uncle JJ.
I got this. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Now, as you can see, for me to be disingenuous in this debate, that means I would have to be off topic. I addressed my situation as far as proving African DNA has been over. He has not proved anything about Christopher Columbus.
Never asked.
All those questions I asked about Christopher Columbus, you should have been knowing these.
Okay, stop. Okay, thank you very much.
The lack of
You don't have to
intelligence process the
Stop.
information.
Thank you very much.
Rationale.
Do you know what genetic noise is?
Oh,
Can you
yes.
explain to the audience what genetic noise is?
Excellent
Well, I
question.
don't know that right now. Go ahead.
Okay, so you make claims of EM2 genetics in the Americas, and you actually put the percentages up there, which are between 0 to 2%. Do you understand what genetic noise is, and how shared genetic ancestry can contribute to those minimal numbers in the genetic profile? The misuse of that data proves disingenuousness when you did.
And not to mention, if Africans were over here and he's showing genetic mirroring, excuse me, by the way, it would be a larger number than less than 2%.
Exactly. That's genetic noise, statistical noise.
Simple. JJ, you debunked and made a fool of yourself. And Cedric is making a clown out of you live on air. You are a wet duck in this debate. You're on some Mary Had a Little Lamb scholarship out here, and you don't even know how to answer that. Common sense would have told you if we were here, the frequency and the numbers would be a lot higher, because that would mean that we are established here. And got yourself again. And when Cedric saw it, he attacked it, and you can't even answer it. Let the big dogs handle this kind of stuff.
Yeah, sit down. Did not even know what noise means. So go ahead, answer the question.
All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, these numbers that I put up were markers and indicators.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
No, of genetic information.
If it was less than 2%, then it wasn't an African.
Period.
That's not an African.
And
less than 2%. Fool. That's Zion Lex type. That's Zion Lex level foolery right there. I thought it couldn't get more tomfoolery than him.
I do not need you to speak any further. Again, you even don't know what you're presenting to the people. This is the disingenuousness I'm talking about, because you present numbers and you do not even know what genetic noise represents. And now that you've been caught out there naked, you're laughing, hey. But again, this is a testament to your disingenuousness. Right? Now, my final question to you, why would you sit up here and lie to the people, presenting sources that are not vetted, don't exist, or either incredibly false? Why would you insist on presenting a commentary like sickle cells when in my first round I proved that the work by Dr. Clyde Winters is not accepted widely because the same genes does not prove shared haplogroups, and we know that environmental pressures can produce the same genetic outcome? Why would you lie to the people and tell them that that was not already disproved? Go ahead.
Okay. Now, when you say I lied, that's speculative. You haven't proved anything in this debate. You already said it. You can't even believe him.
Speculative. All right.
He said this is his last question, so now I get to run out this 30 seconds. As y'all see, ladies and gentlemen, in this question and answer round, who reigns supreme? Who's superior? Who addressed good questions?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I told you. You said you would be quiet.
Thank you.
Bro,
Stop. Be quiet. So you notice that he couldn't even answer this simple question honestly. In my opening round, I addressed you can't use the word from Dr. Clyde Winters. He tries to sneak it in at the end of the debate. This is completely disingenuous.
So right there, the debate was over when it began. He kept claiming Cedric never proved it. Just because you say it 1,000 times doesn't mean that he didn't do it. And I will call upon the intelligence of anybody that voted against Cedric on this one. This is not me looking at the judges saying they're wrong, but this is me looking at the ethics of the debate and them trying to hold Cedric to a standard in which he already proved it. This is the problem with debating. It's the ethics. It's the people that come around with their ambush scholarship, always trying to sit up there and prove somebody right with pseudo-rific, they're great scholarship. That's not how you do things. What's the name of the debate? Did Christopher Columbus come to America before Africans? Whoa, wait a minute. Africans got here first? How do you prove that? Certainly not with genetic noise. Certainly without any material African culture supporting these so-called artifacts that you're trying to prove. Where's the anchor at? Where's the boat at? Where'd they find it? Did the boat port there? So, the way Cedric answered the questions were beautiful. Sorry on you on this one, Sean. This was a beautiful debate. I gave this a 10 out of 10. This is one of my favorite ones off top because I love watching people get beat up. I love it because I'm one of the people that beat people up. I love watching people get beat up. I love watching Not a Coincidence, Port City Authority, yourself, Sean P, beat people up. And you got to give it to him on this, bro. He beat him up because he was not arguing Christopher Columbus did not get here. He was arguing Africans were here. Debate ethics. Let's do better. Y'all stop debating these pseudos and arguing with these pseudos. Send their ass over there to Clubhouse with the rest of them clowns. Let YouTube stay for the let's make YouTube great again. Guys, we're gonna get ready to close this thing on out. I want to call my girl love. Cedric, let everybody know where they can catch you at.
Yeah, you know where to find me. I'm a Pseudo Killer official. You can find me on the Pseudo Killers House. You can find me on the Community of Skeptics. You can find me. See me on the Versus series over there on Paradigm Shift. I'm always on what's a Super Wavy channel, and of course, every now and then I'm a pop up on Morning Coffee.
Yes, sir.
There. I appreciate you, Chris.
No doubt, I'd appreciate you. With that being said, Jay Menace, y'all can catch him over here with me right here on this channel. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. I hope y'all enjoyed the platform today. I really had fun with y'all today. Hit that like button, or family, you can hit that like button, or you can donate. You can donate to that Cash App right there and so help support Black YouTube content. Once again, JJ, you a complete pseudo out here, man, and you wanted to go over the debate. And hopefully people who did not once watch the debate, who tried to fight for you, can clearly see that the only one that was creating straw mans, red herrings, smoke and mirror arguments, pivot techniques, every fallacy that you commit, it was you. Respect what the judges said. You got your ass whooped. That was easy work. And we out. Peace.